If you're looking to start a podcast and already have a podcast and you're looking for an affordable podcasting hosting site, Podbeam's your number one choice. Podbeam offers statistics with in-depth analytics to manage your podcast needs. Use the promo code podbeam.com/pbsignup and get a free month off. That's podbeam.com/pbsignup to get a free month off and see why 1,500 episodes have been shared all over the world in the past 11 years with over 3,000 subscribers that have chose Podbeam as their number one hosting site.
Podcast City Network.
Listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to the Everett Lee Show.
All right. No static. I can't believe that on the intro. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Everett Lee Show podcast. I am the Everett Lee. I want to give a quick shout out to everyone that follows my social media over on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Follow, like, share, download audio portions of this podcast on Podbeam, Stitcher Radio, iTunes, and now on iHeart. Well, I hope everyone's enjoying their Saturday night because I certainly am. And my guest, all I got to say is that the other Thursday night when I was on the Chris Carnage show, and then once that was done and over with, my guest that's on with me tonight mentioned, hey, once you get me on, and I said, hey, man, let's do it Saturday night. And all he had to say was,
I'm coming!
Hey! And he's here right now. Ladies and gentlemen, back on the podcast for an overdue return is none other than Mr. Wrestle Popcast and host of Future Great Wrestling's Beyond the Bell, Robyn Nelson. What's up, man?
Pretty good. How are you doing on this Saturday evening?
I'm enjoying it, man. I mean, I got my drink on and I'm ready to roll, man. I'm ready to, go into the night because I got the Dark Knight on. And, yeah, I'm kind of conflicting right here. I got a DC shirt on and I got a Marvel hat on with the Punisher.
Hey, you know something? There's nothing wrong being fans of both comic franchises. It's all good.
Mm-hmm. It is good. It is good. And just being a fan of the comics and just that in general right there is just amazing because I love comics. I love the TV shows and I love over the years just comics in general because they're so entertaining. They take you away from everything, man. You jump into an adventure right at your fingertips and you don't even have to leave the house. You know how that is, right?
Oh, yeah, it's an adventure. It takes you away from your everyday life, your bills, your job, everything. You just get sucked into a great story, like a great story by Jeff Johns or Tom King or Scott Snyder from DC. Great, talented writers.
Yes, those are great, man. Those are like the best. I enjoy Alex Ross. I love his style of comic. How he does with the comics, just the characters, how he does that style. I know you're familiar with Alex Ross there.
Yeah, he does some beautiful artwork. I mean, it's excellent, especially if you read his Kingdom Come series, which is graphic novels, which is pretty good. The art is just phenomenal, man. He's one of my top favorite artists out there, right behind, Jim Lee, of course. I love Jim Lee as well.
Yeah. Great artist right there that you mentioned and that I mentioned, and you can't go wrong with that. You definitely can't go wrong with that. But I'm happy you're here tonight, man. It's been a long time since Robyn Nelson has graced his presence here on the Everett Lee Show, man. And one thing I want to ask, what the heck's been going on here lately, man? How you been? How you holding up?
I'm doing pretty good over here in Ohio. They got the restrict where you have to stay at home, but you can go out and walk and enjoy the day and, do your basic stuff, grocery store, doctors, or what you have to do to survive. And I have an essential job I have to go to Monday through Friday too. And, it's just hard, because there's really nothing to do, man. You have to think of stuff to do, especially professional wrestling and independent shows. A lot of these pro wrestlers out here can't survive. That's where they make their bread and butter from.
Yeah.
You know, and people who are listening to right now, you should reach out to your independent wrestlers and buy their merchandise, their T-shirts, their stickers, and everything, so they can make a living to survive until we beat this horrible coronavirus.
Yeah. Definitely support indie wrestlers, support your local wrestlers, and support your local businesses too. I put a message out there on Facebook today that our good sponsors of Podcast C Network, City Limits Tap Room, they right now they're shut down. They're basically shut down, Robyn, and they can't. Jim Knight, who owns City Limits, he can have people that come in and enjoy themselves, have a good time at his venue, and no live music, no nothing. And he's doing carry out, and he's also you can have a little bit of a bubbly there, you know, with a food order and stuff. He's doing delivery. He's trying to make men's meat. It's ridiculous what everyone's going through right now. It kills me, you know.
Oh, I think it's horrible. All the deaths but you also got to think of positive too. There's a lot of people that have fought this virus and are cured of it too. You hardly hear that many of those stories out there, you know, as well. You just always hear the negative, but there's some positive out there too, because I know we can find a cure and destroy this virus. I mean, we got to think positive, you know, and people need to quit reading, you know, articles about negative stuff about the coronavirus, you know. You should be looking at positive, you know, articles about people helping each other to fight this. And always, you know, like I said, stay home. Don't get into 100 people. Always wash your hands regardless. Wash your hands like crazy. I always done that before this virus came out anyway. That's the way I was raised. But just wash your hands. You know, do your 6 feet, you know, distance. I mean, you can do your virtual hugs or virtual waves, whatever. But you know, we all have to stick together and fight this, and hope everything gets back to normal. I mean, I know everybody's probably fed up being, you know, stuck in their house like they're serving a prison term, but you shouldn't think it like that. You should be positive. Think of stuff to do. You know that you can do. Do videos of what your hobbies and likes are. Do something to entertain people on your social media to encourage them with all that positive, so they can do great stuff as well. Entertain each other, for Pete's sakes. Yeah. There's a lot to do. And one way I look at this is how basically with parents trying to get their kids out nowadays, get out of the house, go do something. Now it's like, no, stay in, please stay in, because it's bad out there. It's bad out there. I look back at like Billy Madison. He's like, remember Billy Madison? He's like, you don't want to go to the 4th grade. Stay here as long as you can. Its parents is like, stay in the house, stay there as long as you could stay here. Hey, you want to play PlayStation? There you go. Xbox. There you go. Hey, you want to watch this and watch that? But one thing, Robyn, that America and the world, actually, probably here mostly in America, the hospitals are gonna have to prepare for another pandemic at the end of the year, and you know what that is, man. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I hope it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't, because that's gonna be so messed up. I mean, boy, what a 2020, right?
I know. The pandemic I'm talking about is that we're gonna have another baby boom. We're gonna have corona babies at the end of the year, and there's gonna be another pandemic going along with that. People who's gone blind from watching too much Pornhub during this time.
Oh my gosh. Or they don't have enough juice in their system anymore to watch Pornhub.
Yeah. You ever watch Family Guy? You ever seen that episode where Quagmire found out about the internet and they didn't see him for like 2 days, and then when they seen him, he's sitting there and he's all like this, and he's like, and he raised his arm up to go. He's like, I need to go check the mail. His arm's like all huge and stuff. He's all like just.
I think that's funny.
yeah. So that's gonna be like one of another pandemics at the end of 2020. You got baby boom and people that's gone blind because of everything that's happened this year. But like you said, the recovery thing, no one's really talking much about it because I had to turn off the news. I had to turn off news. When my wife has the news on, I have to leave the room because it's gotten to the point where you hear about cases, death. Why? How come they're not talking about, hey, the recovery rate's going really good. Hey, the recovery, these people who had it have beaten it, and now they're leaving the hospital. They're going back to their lives or what's left of their lives now. And I feel for those who's lost families to this thing. But yeah, you make up a good point. Why is not the news or anything reporting about? On a positive side, we got so many cases that recovered and now they're going home. I guess they just want to keep us in fear and keep us panicked, you know?
And it shouldn't be like that. You should be, real cautious and be a little bit scared about this too. But you also have to think of the positive side. They're going to find a way to stop this. There's people getting cured. There's people being positive, so everybody quit scaring one another, just be positive about the whole thing. It's like, we're going to survive this,
Yes.
Be thankful you're alive. I mean, I feel bad for the families to have, like you said, lost a lot of loved ones. That's very sad.
It is.
But,
it's bad.
You just gotta be positive about everything. You can't, be scared, of what's going on. I mean, like I said, it's the virus. It's serious, I mean, stay home, do what you need to do to protect yourself as well, but don't get it like way over your head, which is just going to constantly bother you either, because that's not good.
Yeah, definitely. You pull up a really good point there, and it's true. I got some comments going off in the chat here, and one of those comments is a mutual friend of ours, David C. Russell.
Hey, David.
Yeah, he says, hello, Everett Lee, and you're great, the one and only Robyn Nelson.
You have to do the Larry Zabisco thing.
Yeah. And he says, Robyn, did you take a walk with our brother loves you? Whatever that means.
Oh, there he goes, being obsessed with brother love.
Yeah.
Poor Pritchard. Poor Mr. Pritchard.
and he says, I miss you, Robyn. So let's give some love right there.
David C. Russell, I miss you too, and I give you a virtual hug.
Yeah, I would too, man. We all love David, man. We love what he does with Deathmatch Wrestle Podcast. Shout out to him. But yeah, we definitely do love what he does. And speaking of podcast, Wrestle Popcast, man. You the last time I heard an interview from Wrestle Popcast last year was at the end of was around December of last year. You had Adam Rose on, which was a great interview there. And the video footage that you shot with this match, man, you got a lot of like views and comments on that when you threw it up on YouTube. Tell me about that right there. You didn't expect anything like that, did you?
No, I didn't. He was wrestling for Battle of the Border Pro Wrestling, which is outside of Cincinnati, and Harrison, which was run by Denham Blevins. He had, he was retired from wrestling for a bit, but he still was under contract with Denham, so he would decided to do 2 more shows before he retired. So that match he did with the baddest man alive, Aaron Williams, one of the greatest top-notch independent wrestlers out there. I'm surprised AEW or WWE's never picked up on this guy. The guy's phenomenal. That was his final match ever, getting into the ring. So, I decided to film that. And then when I posted it on my YouTube page, Wrestle Popcast, it got like over 700 views.
Damn. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. But you didn't expect it to blow up like that, did you?
No, not at all, because I'm their camera guy for Battle on the Border Pro Wrestling. I film their matches. Plus, I'm also part of the board there too. With the other board members, we sit and decide what's going to happen at the next shows, and
Right.
where's the storylines going, and which wrestlers are going to be coming. It's just great. Battle on the Border Pro Wrestling just has a talented roster.
It does. I had the promoter Dimon Blevins on. I had him on a while back ago. I believe it was last year I had him on, and I want to thank you for that hookup right there, man.
Yeah, I'm good friends with them.
Yeah.
And then another thing, David C. Russell also did a hookup for Denim as well. Dirtbag Dan made his debut at Battle on the Border, and he had a bloody hardcore match with the Heavy Metal Viking Hooks.
Oh, damn. I got to look that up, man. I don't know how I missed that. I guess doing the Everett Lee Show and running Podcast C Network, that right there kind of, that's my life there. That's my life. And damn, I got to look that up there if it's on their YouTube.
Go look on the Battle on Border Pro Wrestling Facebook page, and also on YouTube. It's out there. And then from there, I got a great podcast with Dirtbag Dan. That is one entertaining, excuse my language, motherfucker out there, man.
That's great. I got no filter on the Everett Lee Show, so if you drop an F-bomb here and there, that's perfectly fine. All right,
well, he's a cool fucker. And if Dirtbag Dan, if you're watching this, man, you the man, and thanks for coming on my podcast and being part of Battle on the Border. The fans loved him, and Denim is going to bring him back. So yeah.
Nice. I love that. I'm glad everyone got together and everything. I love that. I love how this all connects, how we network together and everything. It's
awesome because there's a lot of wrestling podcasts that reach out to me too. And it's great reaching out to each other because we can share everybody's thoughts and ideas, instead of going, I'm going my way. It's just great sharing one another's stuff. That's a great way to network for us podcast brothers to stick together, like how there's like a brotherhood of pro wrestlers sticking with each other too.
Exactly. That's one thing I love about that. I love about talking with wrestlers and talking with other wrestlers than other podcasts. Wrestling podcast, excuse me.
Yep.
What I meant to say there.
Yeah, we all got to stick together, man. Mm-hmm. Help one another out. Just make it good. Just make it like a good positive, man. Positive vibes, baby. Positive vibes.
Positive vibes. I know you and me, we've talked before because I'd pull out when we were talking about who we're gonna get on and who we need to get on. You roll out your index, I roll out my index, and it's like who are we gonna talk to? It's like you're like, here, talk to these people. I take these. I roll out my index and I'm like, here, interview these people, man. We trade back and forth, people that we've not interviewed before, which is great. I love that.
Oh, I do too. It's great. And for me doing that, I mean, I've gotten to know a lot of people in the wrestling business. I know tons of people, and I can go out to different independent promotions traveling. I know how people coming up to me that's never met me before, it's like, hey, we know who you are and all that. I mean, wrestlers and, wrestling fans. And it's just great to meet people, that listen to your stuff that you've never met,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Got some more chats, some more stuff going on in the chat, man. Since you've been on, man, the chat is on fire tonight, man. All I got to say is that we have Joe Hamlin. He said Everett Lee Show and Robyn freaking Nelson on the same show. Yes. You are not. You don't need to refocus your television tonight because, like the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, we in living color, baby. We in living color tonight.
Yeah, because homie don't play that.
Homie don't play that. Homie don't play that. Because when Robyn Nelson and Everett Lee's on the same show, all I got to say is...
It's showtime.
That's right. But I want to ask people in the chat, are you ready to rock?
Hey, I'm ready. Ask away. Ask anything you want, man. I want this to be a fun show.
Oh, it's going to be fun. So there's pretty much none of this tonight when I'm asking you questions.
That is incorrect.
What?
There's none of that tonight.
Okay, hey, it's all good, man. Let's just make this fun, brother.
We're gonna make it fun. Speaking of Wrestle Popcast and everything that you do with Wrestle Popcast, I want to know that with all the interviews that you've done and you have coming out there, and you mentioned you had Dirtbag Dan, all the new content that's coming out with Wrestle Popcast for 2020. What should people look forward to, and what podcast, what episode with a guest that you should recommend people should listen to, which they have not checked out yet?
Oh, on Wrestle Popcast?
Yes.
Oh man, I have so many. It's hard to choose. I mean, the Adam Rose was fun to interview. Nikita Koloff was fun. Dr. David D. Schultz, he was a trip. I had Hillbilly Jim. I've had Coco Beware. And if I had some top, independent pro wrestlers as well, Aaron Williams, Matt Taylor, Amber O'Neal, another hot upcomer, young, talented athlete. She goes by the name of Alice Crowley. You guys need to check her out, dude. That girl is on fire.
I think I've messaged her, and she's not gotten back to me yet.
She will. Yeah. Check out my podcast. I've interviewed over 345 wrestlers.
Wow, man, that's a lot, and that's great. That's great. You have a lot of content. You have a lot of content out there, and everything that you do, and you support indie wrestling and local wrestlers, which is great. It's fantastic, man. I love it. I love everything that you do, and you're passionate about it. That's one thing I love about Robyn Nelson. The man's passionate. Right. I mean, he shows it.
I also do like short video interviews too. I mean, I've had Sami Callihan, Ace Austin. I had Leapin' Lanny Poffo. I can name several. I mean, it's just fun, sharing wrestler stories, man.
It is. Leaping Lanny Poffo. You wore the ring, didn't you?
Oh, I had the ring on. Yes, I did. His brother Randy's Hall of Fame ring. You better believe it.
Ooh, yeah. You were the Macho Man's ring, weren't you?
But I didn't have a Slim Jim, but that's all right.
Believe it or not, I still eat Slim Jims to this day, because I never ate a Slim Jim till I seen Macho Man Randy Savage mention that I need to snap into one. And the first thing I did when I was a kid, I bought a Slim Jim. And when I bought a Slim Jim, I took that thing, I went like that, and I was kind of disappointed because it did like it did on TV though, but it tasted great. And here I am, 41 years old, still eating damn Slim Jim.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I love jerky, man. Jerky's good.
It is. You ever had deer jerky?
Yes, I have. The place where I work at, there's a truck driver that comes in. He does a lot of hunting, and he always brings me in deer jerky all the time.
God, I love it. When I lived in Ohio, my stepdad, he went hunting one winter there right around deer season, and he came back. He shot a couple deers, and when he took it to the butcher, he ended up coming back, going to the butcher there when the meat was ready, and came back with a bunch of like really good deer steaks.
Yeah.
And
Yum.
He also went ahead and got deer jerky, which was fantastic. I love it. I love it, man. I love it.
It's yummy in my tummy.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I definitely love that. Now, with everything we're talking about with wrestling, supporting local wrestling, you are involved with Future Great Wrestling. Tell me how that happened. Because I remember a while back ago, before it started out, there was a thing going on where they couldn't do a show. Everyone signed a petition there where they do have their events at. And I know you brought it to my attention about it, and I went ahead and I signed a petition. I was like, hell yeah, new promotion, let's get it going. And from what I've seen on Facebook and on YouTube, I love what I see. But tell me how that all started and who's running Future Great Wrestling there.
Future Great Wrestling started a year ago. We just had our anniversary show, Origins 2, which was phenomenal. It is owned by Brian Levick, who lives here in Hamilton, Ohio, outside of Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also run by Cody Hawk. He's a well-known professional wrestler in the business. He also has a training school that goes through there as well. And he's trained a lot of big-name wrestlers in the business. He trained John Moxley, Eli Drake, Braxton Sutter, Sami Callihan, Drew Skills, Pretty Little Psycho, Shauna Reed. I can go on and on. But this is how it all started. Brian wanted to bring professional wrestling into Hamilton, Ohio.
Uh-huh.
So, he went to the city, you have to go through the city, get it approved, licenses, etc.
Right.
So, and they were getting ready to do it, but there was a lot of people in the community, especially the senior citizen community, didn't want to have wrestling because they were afraid, like, the fans were going to fight in the parking lot or, rob them or, get drunk and all that. So, Brian decided, to get that whole community together in the city of Hamilton and, go talk it out to say, hey, we want to bring some great family entertainment, into Hamilton, Ohio. There will be nothing like that. So he fought the seat of Hamilton for a while, and then finally he brought everybody in, and then, everybody all agreed for it, but he was on probation first to see how it goes. And then after that, it started getting bigger and popular, a lot of fans, and we get a lot of independent wrestlers from all over that just wants to wrestle for Future Great Wrestling. And like I said, and there you have it. I mean, they've been going on strong ever since.
Right. That's amazing, man. That's amazing. I love it. I love what I've seen. I've been watching here and there. Well, actually, trying to get through the first episode of Shockwave. There, am I saying it right? Shockwave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Future Great Wrestling Shockwave. Before this whole crazy virus was hitting out, they had a weekly show on their YouTube channel, Future Great Wrestling. Subscribe to it. You can see new episodes every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. when it was running before the virus. But now, if you keep on going there every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on the Wrestle Popcast Future Great Wrestling page, not Wrestle Popcast, I mean Future Great Wrestling YouTube page,
yes,
they're still showing content, pre-recorded content, of course, but they're going to put it on live. I mean, there's a lot of exclusive content, a lot of matches. They never have ever aired, past and future. You need to check it out. They have a awesome roster. I mean, I can name you several wrestlers off of Future Great Wrestling, and some of Cody's students have showed up as well. We've had Sami Callihan. We had Madman Fulton from OVW. I mean, I can go on. Leaping Lanny Poffo. There's a lot of big stars, and there's also a lot of big name talent in the independent wrestling that want to be part of FGW because it's just great. It's just great, fun, family entertainment. It's a positive environment. The locker room's great. Everybody gets along. It's just like a big family. I mean, everybody wants to, come wrestle for Cody. And Cody, just has that great persona about him and that great positive attitude where everybody wants to work for Cody. And last year, he got the Pro Wrestling Trainer Award over at the Cauliflower Alley Club in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And then,
I see that, man.
And then he got to go over for a bit as a guest trainer over at the Performance Center over at WWE for a while too.
Yeah, I seen that, man. That was awesome that he got Trainer of the Year there, and that was great that he got to go to the Performance Center there in Orlando. That's just right up the road there. Did I ever tell you about the story with me and JJ McGuire last year when he stayed?
Yeah, you and John went over there and all that. Was trying to get in, and you guys went to Hulk Hogan's Beach Shop.
Yeah. We went to Hogan's Beach Shop because we were filming some stuff for KZW when he was still doing stuff with that. There, JJ McGuire was, and what happened was he talked to me. I didn't really want to do it because for the fact I knew we weren't going to get far. but I was surprised how far we got when we went over to the performance center. I told him, he said, "Hey, Everett, let's go over to the performance center. Where's it at?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I know it's around here somewhere." He said, "You don't know where it's at?" And I'm like, "Hold on." So I'm looking it up. I'm looking. I'm like, okay. So we GPS'd it. Dude, this place, trying to find this performance center, I kid you not. If anyone out there has tried to look for this place who's come to Florida, it's like trying to find fucking Area 51. It's
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it is. It is. I shit you not, man. I shit you not. The place is like trying to find Area 51. After it seemed like 5, 6, 8 hours, we went through like, I forget how many residential neighborhoods. And then they were working on the road. I had to take around, and then I felt like Brian O'Connor from Fast and the Furious. It's like rerouting, and I'm like, shut up, rerouting, shut up, and just going around, and JJ's sitting there, you know where you're going? I'm like, yeah, dude, I know where I'm going. I was like, I'm following GPS. He says, it sounds like your GPS is messed up. Rerouting. It's like, but ended up, we get to the place, just like I've seen anything on TV when they shot stuff outside. So we get out there and everything, and we walk up to the door. You cannot see in. You check yourself out before you go in, though. But we rang the buzzard. We waited. We buzzed it again, and all of a sudden this guy answered, and he basically is like, "Yeah, no one's here." He basically told us that everyone's went home. If we would have came earlier, we would have probably got to see someone. And JJ said he called ahead, talked to Kevin Dunn and everything, and pretty much we thanked the guy, and then we turned around and got in the car and we left. JJ said we should film some stuff out here. I said, dude, see that sign right there? It says no pictures and video. So.
Oh yeah. But you gotta love Hurricane JJ John McGuire. I mean, he goes way back. He's like best friends of Hulk Hogan, Jimmy Hart, and him and Jimmy Hart are the ones that wrote all the theme songs for back in the 80s, like Hillbilly Jim, Coco Beware, Demolition.
Yes.
The Macho Man Randy Savage. I can just go on and on. I mean, him and Jimmy Hart wrote a lot of the wrestling themes, but it all gets recognized by Joel Johnston, who's also wrote some of the, theme songs for wrestlers as well. They always, always mention Joel Johnson, but they never mention, Jimmy or John McGuire.
No, they never do. They never do. And I would like to see at least one day, and he brought up a point. He probably mentioned this to you too. I'd like to see one day, I'd like to see him, JJ and Jimmy go into the Hall of Fame for all the music they did during the 80s when it went mainstream, when wrestling went mainstream. I'd love to see that at least one day, him get in there to the Hall of Fame for what they've contribute to the world of wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a lot. And then he did a lot of themes for WCW. Remember when Hulk Hogan was cursing that parade in that Dodge Viper?
Yeah.
That was John McGuire driving the Viper.
Yeah, at Hogan's Beach Shop, he had it there in Orlando because he has one in Tampa. He has another one in Orlando. We went to the one in Orlando that time. And did you know that he don't have that Viper anymore? He auctioned it off.
Really?
Yeah. He auctioned it off. He auctioned it off to a foundation called Kids with Legs. It's to help for charity. It's for kids who's lost legs and during like incidents where they had like bombings and stuff. Like say for example, like the Boston bombing when that happened there, where kids lost legs.
Yeah,
and
that's good.
Yeah, the video is up on YouTube. I couldn't believe it, but yeah, he auctioned off that 94. It was a 94 Dodge Viper. He auctioned that off, and someone bought it for about $75,000, and the proceeds all went to that charity right there. And they got a replica world heavyweight title for the person who bought that Viper. And the money, Hogan took that money and gave it to the give it to that charity right there, to that
That's
organization. I loved it. But when I heard he auctioned it off, I'm like, damn. I contacted JJ, and I haven't heard back from him. And I said, dude, I was like, that Viper you drove, it's gone now. Hogan got rid of it. I told him. He hasn't replied back to me yet. He hasn't replied back.
He's a hard guy to get a hold of. He's a busy man. He has a book out, and he's been doing a lot of shows and been traveling with Jimmy a lot.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot there. But I know like this weekend coming up or here shortly, he was supposed to have some appearances which he canceled because of everything that's going on with the coronavirus.
Yeah.
So he's pretty much staying at home like everybody else right now. He ain't doing too much. But
no, he's not. I hit him up last week, and then 3 days later, he hit me back up, said, "Yeah, I'm doing okay, brother. It's good hearing from you."
That's good. That's good. I know I got to get a hold of him, man, because I haven't talked to him in a while. I got to see how he's doing and stuff. I love the stories he shares, and you've had him on Wrestle Popcast a few times, but how did you get in contact with him? Because you had him on your show, and then I ended up getting him on my show a few times. How did that happen right there? Getting a hold of him.
I just was, scrolling around, social media, and I just saw him, and I was like, oh, this guy looks pretty interesting. And, I did some research and read his bio, and I go, something, I wonder why no one's never reached out to him and, shared his story. So I hit him up, and he came on, and then, then shared the story. And then, after that was over, we built a great friendship. And, he hooked me up with, Kentucky's Own Wrestling to go down there to meet him, and help him, promote that for a little bit. And then we became friends ever since. And he's has hooked me up with a lot of wrestlers. I mean, he's good friends with Hillbilly Jim and Coco Beware. And,
yes.
So he hooked me up with those guys because he knows them pretty well. He was trying to get me with Honky Tonk Man, but I almost got it, but it was one of those hit or misses. But yeah, he's a great dude, and then I got him hooked up with another great guy by the name of John Cosper. He's a wrestling historian, and he writes a lot of biographies on wrestlers.
Right.
He did one on Ole Anderson. He did one on Madman Pondo. Of course, John McGuire. Dr. David Schultz, and he's also did some for a lot of young independent wrestlers too, especially Charlie Cruel. He did a book on her, and of course, the Bomb Shelter, that crazy time-traveling tag team.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, because I know his book that came out, John Costler, he ended up he helped JJ write it, man. And did you read it? Did you read his biography?
Yeah, I did. I read it. I'm the one that got him and John hooked up so he can get that book done. Yeah, because I know he was there for a while. He was trying to get that up and running, and I forgot who he said he had before that was helping him out. And that would be Jim Phillips.
Yeah, Jim Phillips. Yeah, Jim Phillips. He had Jim Phillips, and then when that right there with everything that was happening with Jim Phillips, that kind of whatever, I'm trying to remember what happened, but that kind of fell through there. But then after that fell through, that's when he got with John there, and he really started getting the ball rolling on getting his biography out there and getting it out there. And I was happy with seeing that he got that out there, because I know you and me, we talked to him quite a bit here and there throughout the week. And yeah, he said when he mentioned, he probably said the same thing to you. when he said he's in the middle of getting his book out there and he wanted to get his story out there. I was like, yeah, dude, get your story out there, because it's a story that no one has heard. Because John Johnson, John Johnson's the guy that everyone thinks of for theme music for WWE, because during the late 90s, early 2000s, of course, John Johnson, did some themes, but J.J. Maguire and Jimmy Hart are the ones that brought your favorites to life and brought those theme songs. They did more theme songs than what John did.
Yeah, they
Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
They did. I know when you were hooking me up there with doing my first interview with him, he said, don't mention anything about John. And I was like, okay, and I didn't. I didn't mention anything about that because I was later on filled in. I was like, okay, but I'm not going to mention it on air here, but we know the story and we're going to leave it as that right there.
Yeah, keep it professional, man. We don't want no negativity or talking bad about anybody.
Now we're gonna leave it right there like that. So at least you know what I'm talking about, and we know what each other's talking about because we know the guy.
Exactly. We'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Professional courtesy, man. We don't. It's all positive, man.
Yeah.
Positive.
All
no
positive.
Negative. Yep.
All positive there. It definitely is. Now, how did with FGW, Future Great Wrestling, how did you get started doing the Beyond the Bell segments? How did that happen? Was this something that you approached Cody Hawk with, or who did you approach that with, or did someone come to you and said, hey, we got an idea for doing this segment here, Beyond the Bell. We want you to host it. How did that come about?
Well, before FGW, there was another wrestling promotion called CWAI, and I started going to their shows, and I got to know Cody Hawk and Shauna, and at the time, Brian Levick was a sponsor over there, and then I found out, after CWAI, just disappeared, Brian decided to do Future Great Wrestling. So I was, hearing about this and, and they were trying to bring it out. So I started pushing Future Great Wrestling before it even became a wrestling promotion. I was over everywhere, promoting the shit out of it. FGW, man. It's like, this is great. It's going to be some great wrestling in Hamilton. And, when they're fighting, I just went around social media and was sharing it everywhere. And then finally, Cody and Brian and Jackson Breeze started noticing me, having, they've known my podcast, Wrestle Popcast. They've all been on it,
right?
Except for Brian Levick, but I would love to have him on. But so I started pushing it, and they just came up to me, and asked me if I wanted to, shoot some of their matches. I did for a little bit before they got Michael Neary, another great guy that does all their production work, camera work, editing. Michael Neary's the man. I've learned so much from that guy. But they brought me in. I was doing this, and I was, doing, promo interviews for the wrestlers. And then from there, I was part of the FGW family. They brought me in, and I've been there ever since. And they gave me my own show, Beyond the Bell, on there during Shockwave. I get my little segment, and, and every time you get like a big name in, I'm that guy that goes and gets the interview for Future Great Wrestling, and and ever since then it's just been history. I thank Cody Hawk and Brian Levick and Jackson Breeze so much for all the great stuff that they've done. They've helped me push out my podcast. They helped me with a lot of things. They helped me get a lot of guests, and Cody Hawk's been so good to me. I have nothing bad to say about the guy. He's just a great guy. I mean, if he knows you're really passionate about it, he'll get out of his way. Shoot, I took 2 training courses with Cody to get in the ring to see what it'd feel like to be a professional wrestler.
Oh, no way. No way.
Yes, I did.
You did.
You can ask Cody Hawk on this. I did that. I went there for 2 sessions. He gave me bumps and maybe run the rope and everything, man. Oh, those bumps hurt. That mat is hard. The ropes are hard. I've had like bruises for running the ropes and everything. And then one day I told him, I was like, man, hey, I'm done. I know what it's like. I totally respect what you guys go through, through your bodies, day after day, night after night. And, and I'm glad I did it. Cody said to me, he looked at me, he goes, I need to tell you something, Robyn. And I was like, what's that, Cody? He goes, you had balls to come in here to train with me, but I totally respect you.
Wow, that's amazing, man. Getting a nod like that from Cody Hawk, who's been in the business as long as he has. Wow, that's amazing. And
so I can take a bump.
yes.
So if you see some of my interviews, I have these wrestlers that get manhandled on me, like Madman Fulton. He grabbed me by the throat and lifted me up against the wall. I've been pushed by wrestlers. I haven't took a bump for a wrestler yet, but
it's coming, huh?
Yeah, I've taken some little abuse there a little bit while I did some interviews, but yeah.
That's great. That's great. How did that first bump feel? And tell me how you were set up to do that first bump.
Oh my gosh! You start off first where you lean onto the bottom rope and you grab the bottom ropes first, and you fall back, and then you gradually go up, and then you got to fall back when you fall back, always have your neck tucked in, and don't be afraid to fight. You don't fight the mat, man. You just take it. You just hit the mat. Don't. And it's hard to explain, but it did.
Yeah.
Hurt. It hurt, and I remember for a whole week, I was so sore from Cody kicking my ass in the ring. I had a hard time getting out of my chair, had a hard time getting in my car. I felt like I was a senior citizen badly beating.
Damn, man. You're like...
Oh, I was. Trust me, it hurts. And at first when I was doing the bumps, I was really scared,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to take it. And there was one time where I messed up and didn't tuck my chin in, and I hit the back of my head. Luckily I didn't get like a concussion. That hurt.
Oh, damn.
So
man.
when you fall back, you always tuck your neck in, man. Always.
That's one of the things that's on my bucket list. I have a bucket list of stuff that I want to accomplish. I pretty much have done quite a bit already that's on my bucket list. One of the things that's on my bucket list, is take a bump in the wrestling ring. Just to say, hey, I took a bump in a wrestling ring. That's one of the things that I have on my bucket list.
I did it several times. And I also ran the ropes, man. Those ropes are hard.
Are they? I heard you have to get into them, man, when you're coming off those ropes.
Yeah,
man.
you got to do it the right way. If you don't, you're going to fall right through you're going to go right over the ring, right into the ground.
Really? You have to do it a certain way? You really have to do it a certain way?
You got to do it a certain way.
Damn. Man. Now I'm thinking about my bucket list.
Dude, you should try it. I went in there and did it because I wanted to do it. I didn't do it to get the respect from the guys in the locker room.
Right.
I did it for me. I didn't do it, it's like, hey, so I want respect, and I wasn't doing it for the whole respect. I was just doing it because I wanted to do it for me,
Right. You want to see. Excuse me, there I am, high pitch. You wanted to see what it felt like. What these people go through, because you've talked to them probably as much as I have or more. Well, yeah, we'll say you talked to a lot of wrestlers more than I have, though. But I'm catching up with you, man.
Yeah, you are, and I hope you do, man. I mean, good for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it all does happen for you. But yeah, you should go to a certified training school. You got to do a lot of research in what school to go to and make sure it's like well known, because there's a lot of training schools out there that are not really do the legit training.
Right.
You need to go find somebody who's been around forever and knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get in a ring with somebody that's wasn't trained properly, because both of you guys can end up getting hurt if you guys are trying to do a successful match.
Yeah. don't want to do like Jim Cornette says, get with these backyard outlaw promotions and learn how to bump there, because that's wrong. That's wrong there. It definitely is. But I'm excited and happy for your success that you've accomplished here with Wrestle Popcast and with working with FGW, man. And I just want to say to the future great wrestling talent, man, I love what I've seen and everything that you guys do, but I know times are hard and just everything that's going on. When we get over this and stuff, I'm looking forward to seeing what you bring to the table with the great talent and the great product of future great wrestling. I'm looking forward to seeing what the future brings for future great wrestling. I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, hashtag, they're still here and they're going to be back stronger than ever.
I can't wait. I definitely can't wait. Definitely can't wait. But being quarantined by this time where you can't really do much except, are you still working your day job? Yes.
Yeah, my day job is essential. It's Monday through Friday. I still have to go to work.
That's good. I'm glad you're working, man, because I know a lot of people in this country are not working or they have to work at home. But I feel for the ones that's not able to work right now, man, and I hope everything we get through this, man. You get back on track, you get back to work, because I know a lot of people with families, and that it's just it hurts because they can't work in their profession, whatever it is they do. But I'm glad you're working. I am. I'm glad you're working. I was telling you before we went live, my job kind of got restructured there with what I'm doing, but we're making it meet. We're trying to make it meet and trying to just, do our 9 to 5 thing through the week. That's all we can do. And, as I try to support my wife and my 3-year-old daughter, and it's hard, but I mean, I was telling my wife tonight, I said mentally, by the end of 2020, there's going to be one entity that's probably going to be like over like that's dominated the other one. That people that know me, because like mentally, man, it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle, and I've been trying to deal with everything. And I told her, I said, by 2020, you're gonna know who's living in this house here, if it's the other guy or if it's Everett Lee. But Everett Lee is more positive right now, and in that other guy, because that other guy, I don't know what his problem is, but that other personality, I don't know. I got to talk to him, and
yeah, you need to. You need to knock him up. You need to
Yeah,
you need to give him a Rick James slap.
Yeah, I need to talk to him. I think this is for the fact that he's running hid, underneath the blanket of Everett Lee. But Everett Lee's going to take care of him for right now. But then when it's time to kick his ass out, I'm going to give him the big boot and drop the bionic elbow on him and make him go out into the wild and become a man with no soy milk. But yeah, he's pretty pissed off about everything. But Everett Lee's a little bit more positive, so just want to let people know that Everett Lee is positive. The other guy, he's kind of I don't know what his deal is, but I'm gonna talk with him. I'm gonna talk with him and see what agreements we come with, though. But
before this crazy coronavirus, I went to the C2E2 comic convention over in Chicago.
Yeah.
And then Saturday I went to their AEW, pay-per-view show. And I got to meet Orange Cassidy. That guy's a trip. I love some Orange Cassidy.
Do you? Because I see what it's hard for me to get into the character because of that first impression I had with him on the one pay-per-view, that AEW's first pay-per-view. The first impression just didn't set right for me, and then afterwards I've been trying to get into him, but then
he's fun.
I understand now. I understand what he does. and I don't have a problem with it. At first I was like, what is this guy doing? What's this guy doing? What the hell? I felt like Jim Cornette going all off on him. You know, I'm like, look, it's pockets in the ring. And then I was like, wait. And then after I seen what he was doing, I said, I got it. Okay. That's enough said. Enough said. All right. I understand now what he's doing. I get the whole thing now. And then I sit back and then I enjoy it. I enjoy it now. So I have nothing bad to say about him.
Yeah, he's great. And then I went and saw Punk. I've met Punk like several times, and he remembered me when I came up to him. He's like,
"Oh, did he?
You?" Yeah.
I know you. I know you. You're the Wrestle Popcast guy.
No, it wasn't because of my podcast. He just remembers me from when I've seen him. And, I was sitting there waiting to meet him, and some fans go like this, are we ever going to see you in a WWE ring? Are you contracted by Vince? And then Punk looked at him and goes, dude, I'm contracted by Fox Sports Network. I'm not part of WWE. And he had that weird look. You can tell he has that look. He's getting tired of hearing that. He just had that look. It was funny.
Oh, yeah. How was... All right. Since you mentioned CM Punk, you brought CM Punk up. All right. Tell me about the first meeting with him, and tell me about the second one right here.
Okay.
You just mentioned
the first meeting I met him at Wizard Chicago.
Uh-huh.
And he was a cool dude, and he liked my shirt, my comic book shirt. He's a big Marvel guy, but I was wearing a Marvel t-shirt. I was wearing this like vintage Captain America shirt.
Uh-huh.
And he just dug it. So the first time, and then the second time I met him at C2E2.
Right.
At the time he was promoting because he was writing Drax for Marvel Comics.
Yeah. So I remember that.
I came up wearing a DC shirt. He's like, I remember you. He goes, didn't you have a Marvel t-shirt? Now you're wearing a DC shirt? And I was like, yeah. So we started talking a little bit about comic books. We didn't talk about, his UFC fighting or wrestling, and he enjoyed it. He just loved geek talking. So I was geek talking for a little bit. And then the third time he just remembered me from, the two Chicago shows. It was funny.
That's great. That's great. I think he likes talking about stuff that he normally don't get to talk about with someone. Yeah. I think that's how you connect with him, because I know, like you said, he's tired of people asking him, aren't you going to get into WWE? When you coming back to WWE? I know he's probably sick of that. And having someone like yourself come up and just talk about comics, say, hey, I mean, what did you tell him that you were reading at the time? Did you mention anything?
I told him, I checked out some of his, different books he wrote. He wrote an independent wrestling comic. He was a guest writer. I can't remember what it was called, but I did read Drax, and then we talked about a little bit DC and CM Punk. He's just amazing. I mean, you either love him or hate him, but he does know his comics, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's a big comic. He's a big comic fan. He is. I mean, he's mentioned that to people plenty of times. He's a big comic fan, and that's amazing that he remembered you, because it's like, oh God, here comes the guy who's gonna ask WWE again. When you get to WWE ring? When you gonna get to WWE ring?
That's what they're all saying. And when he said that, I was standing right behind the guy. Punk looks at me. I looked at him weird, and we're like rolling both of our eyes at the same time. I mean,
next, if you meet him again, I dare you to say this, okay? You do another meet and greet, and he's there, and the next guy that gets behind you and says, when do you get to the WWE ring? I dare you to look back at him and answer for Punk and say, never, like Vince, and walk off. I dare you, because I like to see his expression. He'd probably be like,
hey, don't tip me on that, man.
do it, man. Do it.
Try to practice my Vince McMahon voice.
Yeah, do it. Be like, never.
It's like, yeah, I know. Get that little deep voice. That'd be funny.
Oh god, that would be great. That'd be great because you'd see them to be like Ralphie from A Christmas Story.
I know, right?
They would. They definitely would. And then speaking of comics, one thing I wanted to ask you is, do you have Disney Plus?
Oh, I love Disney Plus, man. I enjoyed The Mandalorian. I can't wait for Mandalorian Season 2 in October. I love Disney Plus. They got all the great Disney films I grew up when I was a kid. And there's this one great Disney film I liked that was on there on Disney Plus. Had William Dafoe, and it was based off a true story. It was called Togo. And it was about this dog back in the, like 1920s, where they were had to go through this horrible storm in Alaska to get this medicine for these sick kids that were dying. And they gave the recognition to Balto the dog instead of Togo. Togo's the one that was the main hero, but since Togo got too old to keep on doing the runs, they made Balto do it. So at the end, when he finally brought the medicine to the kids in Alaska, Balto got recognized for it instead of Togo. Okay. I'm gonna have to check that out because my wife signed up for Disney Plus. I love it.
We ended up getting Hulu. We haven't even watched Hulu yet, so I don't even know what's on there or how to navigate through there yet. But Disney Plus, my 3-year-old, God, when they put Frozen 2 on there, I've watched Frozen 2 about 4 times already, and it never gets boring. It never gets freaking boring because the first one, when they came out, everyone wore out the songs, and now the second one, trying to get all the songs memorized and everything. And I love Christo's song where he's lost in the woods and the Queen thing with the I love it. But one thing I found out was the Marvel section on. The Marvel section, dude. I'm telling you, man, that Marvel section. So I started skimming through the Marvel section because I never really got to sat down and actually look through what's on Disney Plus. I come to find out, I said, holy shit, are you kidding me? They have on Disney Plus the cartoons I used to watch every freaking Saturday morning.
That's right.
They got the X-Men from 1995. I'm talking about 94, 95, around that time there, 93, 94, 95. They have Spider-Man on there. That's the Spider-Man from 90. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and you forgot another one they have on there too was on Saturday morning. You remember this too. They also have Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they have that on. They do have that on there because I was looking at the Spider-Verse. So here lately in the last week or last few days, I've been binge watching Spider-Man, the one I watched from the 90s, the mid 90s, every Saturday morning. I used to get up and I used to watch it at 10. I think it was 10 or 11 o'clock. It would come on there for whatever it is, 30 minutes. I'd watch it. And I love it, man. I love it. Right now, I'll tell you where I'm at right now with binge watching. When I got home from work, guess what the freaking first thing I did was? I told my daughter,
Spider-Man.
We're watching Spider-Man. And my 3-year-old loves it too. She'll sit there and watch it with me. I just got done today watching the episode where he becomes Man Spider. Remember that?
Yes, I do. Yep.
She freaked out and she jumped on me. She's like, Daddy, oh no. Freaking out. And it's like, Spider-Man's a monster. I said, yes, she is. But everything's going to be all right, sweetie. And I'm up at the point where they introduced Blade. Remember they introduced Blade in the story?
Yeah. They had Blade, and then they had it where it involved Morbius, I believe, too.
Yeah. He's going after. I just finished the episode tonight where him and Blade are going after Morbius because Peter Spider-Man wants to help Morbius, but Morbius is like, ah, la, la, it just runs off, and everything. And he's like, I'm trying to help you, and he's like floating around. He's like, it's like, come on, man. Dude's trying to help you. But I love the episode with Man Spider because Craven comes back and
I love Craven.
Yeah, because Punisher's wanting to kill him, man. He's wanting to kill him, and then you had Craven coming back, and they teamed up to help cure Spider-Man. But I'm at the point now where Blade and him was going after Morbius because they're trying to help Morbius, and I love that. But I also love the crossover episode they did with the X-Men. That was freaking fantastic there. I love that. And that was another show I watched, and I'd watch Saturday mornings. There was X-Men, the cartoon, man. I loved it. It come on Fox. Saturday mornings was great, man. Sit down with a bowl of cereal, freaking sit there and watch my favorite cartoons. I was about 14, 15 at the time, but hell, that didn't matter.
That was great. Yeah, I love Disney Plus, but lately I also been binging the hell out of DC Universe. And they have this great animated series. It's dark humor. It's not made for kids. It's Harley Quinn.
Oh, really?
And Harley Quinn is great, man. It's where she left the Joker and she's fighting the Joker and she was trying to fight her and earn her way to become the member of the Legion of Doom, which pretty happened. And then her people, Poison Ivy and all of them end up being her sidekicks, so they didn't get a chance to be part of the Legion of Doom. And they have Bane on there and they make him like an idiot. He talks like this: "I don't know what you're talking about. I am Bane."
No, they made Bane an idiot like that. They made him like talking like that. No.
Yeah, it's great. It's dark humor, man, especially when she deals with Batman, Joker. You need to watch it. Harley Quinn, the animated series. And it's like dark, violent, dark humor. It's not made for kids.
Right.
And in April, season 2's coming out. So, which is pretty awesome. And then I've been watching that cheesy TV show on DC Universe. It was made in the 70s, which was on Saturday morning cartoons. I was watching the 1970s TV series Shazam.
No, wait. They had a Shazam had a show in the 70s.
A live action show. It came back in. I was a little baby when it first came out. It came out in 1974. It was on for 3 seasons on NBC.
No way. Really? Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it was played by Jackson Bostwick, and then after he left, it was replaced by John Davy.
No way.
Yeah, and it was Billy Batson and his mentor. They traveled in a mobile RV everywhere to go help teenage kids with their problems and stuff. It was pretty good. I'm surprised you didn't hear about that 1970s live action Shazam.
No, I didn't hear about it. I didn't even know they didn't have that, man. I know, what was it, CBS had back in I think it was the 80s, somewhere in the 80s or 70s. I'm probably messing up.
Late 70s, early 80s, okay.
Spider-Man, they had the Spider-Man show. Do you remember that?
They had Spider-Man, and then they had his Amazing Friends.
And
then, like in the 80s, they did this show called the Kid Power Show with a Superhero High, and then they also had an 80s Shazam animated series with Captain Marvel Jr., and Mary Marvel too.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm just a big DC guy. I mean, I love Marvel too. Don't get me wrong. I love my DC, but yeah, you need to get DC Universe. They have a lot of great shows and series on there, man. And I can just see the look on your face when you watch Shazam. You'd be like, "Oh gosh, Rob is right. This is cheesy but fun."
Did you speaking of Shazam? Did you see the new movie they put out with Shazam?
Yeah, Zachary Levi. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun film.
Is it good? Because
you'll like it.
I heard it's mostly aimed towards kids, but kids love it. I heard that.
Well, the reason why it's aimed towards kids is Billy Batson is a kid who becomes a powerful demigod, mortal of a man, a superhero. So when he turns into Shazam, he's a young kid in a big man's body with superpowers.
Okay, well, yeah, that's basically what the character's based off of anyway, right? I mean,
Yeah, Billy Batson. Yeah.
Yeah.
And back in the 30s and 40s, Shazam's Comic Whiz Comics was kicking Superman's ass in comic book sales.
Really? I didn't
Back
know
in
that.
the day. Look it up. Yep.
No way. Shazam's comics in the 40s, 30s, and 40s.
He was called Captain Marvel then, and then later on, Captain Marvel kind of disappeared before DC got him back. So Marvel was able to grab the name Captain Marvel, so they couldn't call Shazam Captain Marvel anymore. So they had to leave it to Shazam, since Marvel grabbed the Captain Marvel name. Actually, Shazam was Captain Marvel before Carol Danvers, or the guy before her was Captain Marvel.
Yeah, because he was Captain Marvel, right?
Captain Marvel, yes, Marvel.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably okay. That makes some much more sense right there.
Yeah, look it up. You'll know it's on there, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out right there, because I knew a little bit of history there, but damn, beating Superman. Now I wonder how DC felt about that. They create this character.
Well, DC kind of had a little fit, so they went after Shazam, and they were saying Shazam was like stealing like certain covers, how they're like drawing the heroes like certain covers, saying it was copywriting. So they fought Fawcett Comics for a long time over that, and then finally DC won and shut down Shazam.
Jeez, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. I mean, during the 40s there, during World War II, comics were hot. I mean, look at Marvel. Look what they were doing to Captain America right there.
Yeah,
perfect
Superman.
Time. Perfect time.
Superman, Batman, Robin, all of them where they're fighting Nazis and stuff during World War II.
Yeah, that's amazing what they were doing there. Henry Valentine says, "Hey, what's up, buddy?"
Hey, how's it going, Mr. Valentine?
I was checking the chat right there, and yeah.
Is there any other questions on there?
Pretty much right now, there's not really no one on there right now. Henry Valentine jumped in to say, "Hey, what's up, buddy?" And then I started inviting a bunch of people onto the chat here. Had Sean Half. Let me. My glasses are fogging up here. I may have to take them off here.
Hi, my name is Everett Lee, and I'm getting old. I have to squint a little bit to see what I'm saying.
Dude, seriously, I hate to say this. Okay, I'm gonna embarrass myself right now on this live podcast.
Okay, go ahead.
When I have something like it's like here, I can see it perfectly fine, but when it gets to about here, it starts to blur on me.
You're farsighted. See, I'm nearsighted. I can see things up close, but far I can't. Hey, I'm embarrassing myself too.
It's age, man. It's age. That's what it is. Yeah, if I have something like, for example, this Coca-Cola can.
Yeah.
Okay. Calories, 140. Total fat, sodium. Blur. Total carbs, protein. Pull it in. Blur. I can't. I'm getting old, man. I can say the line now, Danny Glover. I'm getting too old for this shit.
Hey, that's a classic Lethal Weapon line, buddy. You know your Lethal Weapons.
Yes, I'm getting too old for this shit, man. Before long, I'm gonna be like, I got a guest on, but I don't know who he is. Let me get my bifocals on.
Now, who was that guy you were trying to read his name? Who was that? You're like, huh? You're like this. You're like, what?
Let me pull it back up here. I'll pull the sunglasses off here. Everett Lee may be getting a reboot for 2021 here before it's over with. Let's see. Excuse me. My allergies been freaking. I hate pollen this time of the year. My eyes get watery. I sneeze like crazy.
Hey, where's your hand sanitizer? That stuff's like gold, man.
It's way over there on top of the table there. I had to put it over there so my daughter couldn't get it because she, I showed her what hand sanitizer was, and all of a sudden, every chance she gets, she's... I'm like, no. Just used to drop. She has these little itty bitty hands, and she's like freaking like it looks like she stuck her hand in a bowl of gelatin. Henry Valentine says, "What's up?" And Sean, damn.
Say Sean. What did he say?
He said, "Sup."
Okay.
Yeah. Sup for Redline Radio. Do we give a shout out to Redline Radio right here on the Everett Lee Show? Yeah, I should probably just remove the sunglasses. Because
you wear sunglasses at night, so you can.
Well, you want to know why I wear the sunglasses? I'll tell you why. No one really has asked me, and I've never given a really straight answer on this.
Yeah, why do you wear the shades?
Why do I wear the shades? Everett Lee wears the shades because to show tribute and respect to the ones that's come before him. Howard Stern. God,
I love that man.
Wrestling, Jimmy Hart. That's why I wear them. That's why I wear the shades. Howard Stern, Jimmy Hart, Mancow Muller. You've heard of Mancow. Mancow's Morning. Yes, those guys, that's why I wear the shades. To show that's why I wear these. To show respect to and honor those that's come before me. So that's why I wear the shades right there.
Okay, now we got the origin of the shades.
Yes.
Did you know in the early 70s, Henry Winkler, the Fonz, was in a movie where he was playing a professional wrestler?
Yeah, I seen that. How the hell did you find that, man? I want to know about that, man.
My friend Ripper Blackheart, who's in the wrestling business, had a poster at a show that I was like, man, I never heard of this movie. So I had to go look it up, and I found it. So I bought the Blu-ray, and then I watched it on Amazon Prime. The movie's great. He starts off as an actor, and he was having a hard time. He was like, and then he finally got married and had a kid in New York. He was having a hard time getting acting gigs, so he teams up with that little actor from Fantasy Island, Tattoos, like his manager. And he goes and portrays being a heel in these wrestling shows, and he gets like real big as a professional wrestler. And it's funny seeing him with his little body build going, hey, the Fonz is playing a wrestler.
The Fonz playing a wrestler, man.
Yeah, I have the movie. I'll have to show you to, so just in case you're like curious.
Yeah.
I'm going by my library, and this is what the name of the movie is.
Okay, the one and only. And you say it's on Amazon Prime?
Yep.
Dude, that's amazing. I'm gonna have to get that. So it's a pretty good movie there.
Oh, it's funny, man. It's a great movie. Henry Winkler's great, and he portrays these different wrestlers. First, he portrays a Nazi. A wrestler, and everybody's like booing him and all that, and he portrayed another heel, and then finally he grew the blonde hair and dressed like the Pink, and he was kind of acting like a Gorgeous George type of a wrestler.
Right. That's amazing, man. I love that. And
it's directed by Carl Reiner.
Really?
Yep.
Damn, I didn't even know this existed. And you said this is around the 70s. Is this around the time like after or during Happy Days?
Before Happy Days and before he became the Fonz.
Oh, damn. Okay. I'm gonna have to check that out. I may sit there tonight after we get off this show here tonight, and I may pull it up.
Watch it. It's great. It's just neat seeing Henry Winkler, an actor acting like a pro wrestler in wrestling.
That is nice. And we do got some more viewers jumping in here on the
Who are they? Who are they?
Yeah,
Say
we
hi.
have Redline Radio has joined us here.
Hey,
Redline Radio LLC.
Check those guys out. They're a good show, man.
They are,
Redline
man.
Radio.
They are. I love them. Did you check out I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, I called in on the Scoop Friday night on the Scoop.
No, I didn't get a chance to, but I do. I love those boys, though.
Yeah,
Who
Cleveland.
else is on there besides Redline Radio?
So far they are, and Henry Valentine's on there right now. David Wallachek says is in the house. Redline Radio LLC doing some self-promotion right there. Love it. And I replied back. He said, chilling at home, watching your show. We have Jeff. Let's pull the shades off again because I can't see shit. Jeff, I can't say your last name, from Redline Radio. Don't hate me. I love you. I love Redline Radio, what you guys do up there in Cleveland, Ohio. I love it. I'm taking the shades off so I can see what the hell I'm doing.
That's right, man.
Yeah, I got the shades on still, but technically. But, yep. Love the Redline Radio crew. I love what they do and everything and stuff. Shout out to those guys right now tuning in tonight here as I talk with Robyn Nelson of Wrestle Popcast and Future Great Wrestling Beyond the Bell.
That's right.
And Robyn, since we're talking about streaming and what we're watching at home and stuff, what would you recommend if I jumped on Disney Plus there? Because I'm waiting for what is it? The Winter Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision. I'm waiting for those to show up, and they haven't showed up yet. But,
I'm waiting for that. I'm also waiting for the Mandalorian season 2, but that's way in October.
Yeah.
But on Disney Plus, man.
What do you recommend?
Whatever. Togo, Togo with William Dafoe. That's a great movie, man. Everybody's got to watch that. It's a great family film about Togo, the dog.
Okay.
And another one is, I've seen all the films. I just got done watching Toy Story 4. I recommend that. The Toy Story films are great. And then for the Marvel cartoons, man, I'm going to have to say the 90s X-Men and Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Yeah, I love Spider-Man. I definitely love Spider-Man. I love the early mid-90s Spider-Man there because I used to watch it every Saturday morning, and there was a lot of episodes on there that I haven't watched, so I've been binge watching it. I was excuse me. I was laughing at the one with the time stone. Remember the mafia boss? He wanted to become young, and he got young, and he's like, I feel great. He was like, I need to get the stone so I can become young again. And then when he gets it, he's like, I feel great. And all of a sudden, it kept on making him younger, and he turned to a baby again. He's trying to take Kingpin out. I was laughing at that episode because I was like, Dr. Connors fucking told you. And then, you know what's funny? I laugh at sometimes because it gets a little cheesy on the Spider-Man show, because when Dr. Connors was kidnapped by Silverhair, and then when he comes busted out as a lizard, he's like, ah. They're like, oh, Kingpin sent him. It's like, dude, he's wearing the fucking lab outfit. It's Dr. Connors.
That's funny. You're nuts. Speaking of streaming, have you been watching The Dark Side of the Ring? Did you watch the latest one on Chris Benoit?
No. I wanted to see that. Where do you watch Vice at? Is it on cable TV or what?
Yeah, it's on cable TV, or you can stream it online. That documentary was fucked up. And I feel sorry for his son, David Benoit.
Yeah.
He looks dead on like his dad, and they give him a hard time, and he's an innocent bystander out of this whole thing, because they're giving him, crap about his dad, and he had nothing to do with it. And WWE should put Woman in the Hall of Fame because she's also innocent in all this after, Chris killed her. She's been around forever in the wrestling business. I think Woman should be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I agree, because that story right there, that was bad with what happened at Christmas Mall. Did they even talk about like conspiracy theory about how he was murdered, or what did they?
No, they got back into it where from all the concussions over the years that affect his brain, that kind of made him messed up in the head, and they thought he was like roiding out a little bit and got crazy. And then, after his best friend Eddie Guerrero, passed away, it just got him into becoming a different person, man. He couldn't live without Eddie Guerrero, and he started being distanced. It was a deep documentary, though, man.
Yeah, because that's a tragedy right there. I mean, just everything that happened. I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. I think it's up on YouTube. I saw something like that, and someone told me I need.
It's on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube.
Okay. Because someone mentioned to me, they said you need to check that out because it's Dark Side of the Ring. How many episodes they have out already of that?
This is second season. So far, it's one, and then next week coming up, they're going to do it on New Jack.
Oh, okay. New Jack. I remember New Jack, man, from ECW days, man.
He has that. His head looks like it's smashed in. He looks like a Klingon from Star Trek. His Klingon head.
Well, that's from the Razors and everything and stuff, from all the hardcore match, man. ECW, man.
And then another messed up documentary I watched. You need to watch it on Netflix. The Tiger King with Exotic Joe. That was a messed up documentary, man.
My
He's
wife.
Like this, he's this gay redneck guy that owns a zoo of 227 tigers. He married like 2 straight guys that were in love with him and the tigers. And then it went towards like conspiracy for trying to murder somebody. Man, it's messed up. And he also has some country videos out there too, country songs. He can sing. He did some country music videos, man. They were messed up.
Damn, that is messed up.
And he looks like Enzo Amore. I could have sworn that's Enzo Amore's twin brother.
Enzo Amore. I remember that, man. I remember that. How you doing?
You need to watch it. Tiger King. You need to watch it, and after you binge it, you need to call me and tell me what your thoughts of it was.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to, because I was gonna say my wife. She wanted to watch that. My wife wanted to watch that, and she said, "I want to see that. I want to check it out and see what that's about." And I said, "Okay." I was going through looking. I'll tell you what. One show I want to watch on there. I watched the preview for it. I said, "Damn, I got to see this." Ragnarok.
Oh, Thor Ragnarok?
No. It's called Ragnarok. It's based off of the Greek mythology of Thor. That's
okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about,
yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Watch the trailer of that, because you're like, damn, because the guy they have, he looks like a young Thor, and then his brother looks like a Loki, but they're battling like a god or something that's greater than him. And they're like, what are you? And yeah, it's called Ragnarok. That's what the TV show is called. I want to start watching it.
Yeah, speaking of Netflix, The Big Show's coming out with a sitcom too, where he has a family.
Yeah, I seen something like that. I was watching Broken Skull Sessions with Steve Austin when Big Show was on there. Did you see that on WWE Network?
I did. I love Stone Cold's podcast, man.
I do too. I loved how he talked with Undertaker, Goldberg, and Big Show. And I didn't watch the Bret Hart one yet. Did you see that one?
No, I still need to watch that. That's next on my list. And ever since, because of the lockdown, there's hardly nothing to do. I've been checking out a lot of stuff I never had enough time to watch, which is pretty great. So
I think from all this stuff, it's giving people a chance to actually sit down and watch some stuff. Because I mean, hell, I got on Disney Plus and I discovered they had the Spider-Man cartoon, and I'm exposing my daughter to it, which she's loving it. She comes and runs and brings her little Spider-Man doll that I got her, and she's like, Spider-Man! And we sit down there together and watch it, and she loves it. She loves it. And when the intro comes on, she's like, Daddy, sing it. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, Spider-Man, Spider-Man, radioactive Spider-Man. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, anything for my daughter. Anything in my daughter. It's like, just don't make me juggle, baby.
Hey, this has been really fun. Wrestling, geek talk, movies. This has just been very fun. And it's been a while since I've been on. This is the most fun I've had so far, man.
Oh, man, me too. And everyone that's been viewing tonight, man, they have been... We got like 7 people right now viewing right now. David Wallachek said, I just watched that. I don't know which one. He said both of them. So,
Okay.
yeah, whatever we're talking about there, he's probably what you were mentioning right there. And, of course, I mean, hell, with everything going on, man, why can you not get on and watch and binge watch your favorite shows? You know what's funny, though? I was watching last week when I got on Netflix. I was seeing what was the number one shows been watched. It was stuff that had to do with, like, outbreaks and viruses. I'm like, come on, man. There's more better shit on fucking Netflix to watch than that, you know?
Oh, crap. Let's just watch V. The lizard people. This is humans. That was a pandemic.
Yeah.
Let's watch V, the final battle.
Hey, ask me how many episodes I've watched of Breaking Bad.
I love that show, and I also love Better Call Saul. So, how many episodes have you watched of Breaking Bad?
1. I watched the pilot, and that's it. Hey, I'm running a podcast network. Yeah, look at Robyn, man. He's about to jump through this computer and smack me, man.
Look, see my hand? I'm totally going to grab it and grab your hand and just turn it, go, why?
Yeah, I have. I did watch the first 3 episodes of Alter Carbon. I love that.
Alter Carbon's good. I haven't got a chance to watch the second season, but the first season was pretty good. And then another great show on there, too, is Lock and Key. I love Lock and Key. Okay.
David Wallachek says Tiger King and Benoit. He's watched both of them. And he's watched Adam... Oh, okay. All right. Never mind. He's referring to someone. Never mind. Sorry. My eyesight.
But like I said, Tiger King is actually Enzo Amore. That has to be him, you know, or his twin brother. They look alike. They have to be like Tiger Brother.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna have to sit down with my wife and check it out. I know. Well, check this out. You know, they get that one show that's on Netflix about the mafia, or the New York mafia, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? The Irish mafia. My wife told me, because she's from New Jersey. She told me, dude, seriously. She said they talk about her grandfather on that show. I said, what? She said, yeah.
That's freaky.
Yeah, because he's from Hell's Kitchen, and he was part of the Irish mafia. I looked over at her. I said, God dang, man. I said, if I piss you off, don't put a hit out on me.
You know, it's even funnier than that. When I grew up in California all my life, but I live in the Midwest.
Right.
But
Right.
I lived in a town in California called Bakersfield, and growing up, right next door to my mom and dad's house, we lived next door to some of the members of the Hells Angels motorcycle gang.
Damn. My neighbor.
And, yeah, they were great. They were great neighbors, man. They were very, I mean, they were cool, but you know, they were doing, you know, what outlaw bikers do, you know, gun running and sex and well, they took a liking to me and my family, and they treated us really good. And then one of the main guys came up to me and said, I didn't know this little kid, he goes, if anybody messes with you, you let me know and I'll take care of it. And I never thought of it. And then like years later, I thought about it. It's like, man, he would have killed somebody for me if I said something. and then right next door, Floyd, they called him Pigger. He was like up in there, and the police came to their house and unburied in the backyard. He like killed and buried his wife in the backyard.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man.
And this is a true story. I lived they were great neighbors. They treated us real good, but we minded our business, and they did their thing. We didn't really pay attention. So yeah.
Right. I have a biography book about the Hell's Angel, which I haven't got to read yet. But my neighbor, she came over one day and she wanted to borrow a couple bucks, something to, $5 or something to get a pack of cigarettes. So I'm like, here's $5.
Oh, $5 and a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that sounds like you're gonna buy a Barbara Streisand biography like Yentl or something.
But I let her borrow it, and we were sitting there talking about books and stories and stuff. I said, hey, check out this book, and I showed her the Hell's Angels book. I kid you not. She looked at that book, and she flipped the fuck out because she is part of the Outlaws here in Daytona.
Well, we have the Iron Horse motorcycle gang here outside of Cincinnati, the Iron Horsemen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're really big, too. But another biography to read, I got done reading Roddy Piper's latest biography right before he died.
Yeah.
I met him a couple times. And then I had his daughter, Teal Piper, on my podcast.
Yeah.
Which was great because she's getting into the wrestling business. She wrestles for WOW, Women's of Wrestling.
Yes.
And she was very fun to talk to. Her and her brother, Colt, wrote the rest of the book after he passed. And if you want to read a good biography, pick up Roddy.
My dog, I don't know what the hell he's doing, man.
Is he licking your? Is your dog humping your leg right now? Is that
no, he's tripping. He hears the neighbors across the outside, and he's like, and it's like I'm in the middle of a fucking show here. I'm sorry, but the chat is on fire here, man. He's David Wallachek wants to ask you what NASCAR driver is from there.
I can tell you. His dad was my PE teacher, and my sister graduated with him, and we used to watch him at Mason Moran in Bakersfield Speedway, Kevin Harvick.
Nice. Excellent.
And another famous race car driver that's also from Bakersfield as well is Indy car driver Rick Mears. Nice. That is awesome. So, yeah, Kevin Harvick's dad was my PE teacher in high school, and then Kevin graduated the same year as my sister from high school. Yeah, Kevin Harvick is a Bakersfield native, like me, and you're looking at him, he's like real big in the NASCAR. I was never a big Harvick fan. I've been a big Jimmy Johnson fan when he first started, and I'm sad this is his final season, but it's a shame you can't, people can't go see NASCAR, because of this whole crazy virus.
Yeah, I see that. George G. Ill said he just revoked your man card for not watching Breaking Bad. Ha 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 ha. I replied back, ha ha. Let's see. Too much content that is out for me to find time.
Hey, after you're done watching Breaking Bad, you gotta watch Better Call Saul. So yeah.
Will get around to seeing the whole series. Sometime. Boom. Eventually I will, man. There's so much content out there.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous, man. There's so much stuff out to watch. Me and my wife, we sat down and watched the first episode. I was like, damn, this is great. I know they only got 5 seasons. So one show that we did watch the hell out of was watching Mad Men. That was a good show.
Mad Men is awesome.
Oh, God. I loved fucking Mad Men because I love that.
Mad Men was great.
It was.
Yep. And then speaking of when we're talking about biker gangs, man, you got to watch Sons of Anarchy.
Oh,
that
God.
show was the shit.
Yeah, right here. I watched all 7 seasons from season 1 all the way till it ended.
You gotta watch Jax. I've met the cast of Sons of Anarchy. I got pictures of Jax and all them, man.
I seen that, man. I seen that. Have you watched the Mayans MC?
Oh yeah, I watched the Mayans, but it's not as good as the Sons.
Oh, come on, dude. Season 2 was great. Season 2 was freaking great. It was great.
I'm mad. They fired Kurt Sutter, man.
Well, it's because Kurt his ego got the best of himself. That's why he got too big for his britches. He had good intentions though, but come on, he pointed this out, man. If you're going to do a show based off a motorcycle Mexican Latino gang, you need to have some. Series. Yeah, you need to have that in it because he was clueless about it. He was clueless about.
Like I said, I love the Mayans, but Sons of Anarchy will be to my heart. But I did enjoy the Mayans, and I do agree the season 2 of the Mayans was good. I want to see them do it of the first, the prequel of Sons of Anarchy. You know, the first 9 members, first 9. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know why Kurt Sutter didn't go that route because
he should have.
He should have.
I would have waited on the Mayans. I mean, if he wasn't quite sure how to do a Mexican, outlaw gang, he should just did the prequels first, and then if he was going to do the Mayans, he should have, did a little bit more research or found somebody, like a Mexican, outlaw biker gang. Look at Jax. He followed a known biker gang to get the rope, Jax Teller, so he can play it right.
Yeah, he did. He
Charlie
did.
Hunnam, yeah. Charlie
Hunnam. He's a great actor. I watched a movie of his a few years ago. It's probably still on Netflix if anyone ever watches it. It's called Man on a Ledge. Not the one. Not the one with what's his name from Avatar. You know what I'm talking about? Who played Terminator? It was actually Charlie Hunnam. It was on Netflix called Man on a Ledge. That was really good. It showed his range as an actor.
And then another movie he was good in too. He was in it with it was called The Gentleman by Guy Ritchie. That came out that had Matthew McConaughey in it and Charlie Hunnam, and it was like a British revenge type of movie. It came out recently.
Yeah.
Oh, you like it? Charlie Hunnam was great. He was pretty smooth in there, man. He was smooth.
Did you know that he was supposed to play Christian Grey in the 50 Shades of Grey movie, but had to pull out? He turned it down. Yep. Yeah, because of he was committed to doing Sons of Anarchy, but I guess I'm glad he didn't go with that franchise because it kind of bombed because the books were so much better.
You read the books?
No. My wife did.
Okay.
My wife did. I sat down.
Take your man card. I would have to take your man card if you read that.
Talking about man card, Robyn. Let me say that George says, in all fairness, he has to pull mine too. I've only seen the pilot too.
Hey, to you guys that only saw the pilot of Breaking Bad, after that, you guys got to watch Better Call Saul. That is such a great show.
Now, let me ask you, does Better Call Saul take place after Breaking Bad or before it?
Before it, and then, it takes it before it, yep. And then later on in the seasons, it gets where he meets them and stuff, yes.
Okay. Because
it's like the origin story of, it's an origin story, how it all started.
Okay, because I know the premise of Breaking Bad. A physics science teacher who gets cancer, and he knows he's going to die, and he wants to set his family up where basically they're taken care of if he dies. And he gets into doing about meth, and he gets with Jesse. That was fucking funny.
It's a great show, and if you want to watch another great show, something like that, watch Weeds, about the housewife in the cul-de-sac selling weed.
Oh, dude, let me tell you about Weeds. Let me tell you about Weeds. Now, you'll laugh at this here, okay? My brother, okay? My brother had me set up on his Nintendo Wii for his grandchildren. The for Netflix. I told him all about it. I set it all up for him. I said, "There you go." Okay, I set it up for him, and I didn't see my brother for probably about a month because we got so busy. So I called him up one day, and this is my older brother, and I said, "Hey, what's going on?" He was like, "I want to come by and hang out," and he's like, "Yeah, man, come on over." So come over. And we're sitting there talking and stuff and everything. And when we come in, he stops watching Weeds. And he's like, "Dude, I'm almost done watching this show on Weeds." He already been watched about like 5 or 6 shows already. I'm like, what?
Weeds is great,
and
man.
Weeds was one of them, man. And he was almost done with it. And he was telling me about it. He's like, "Oh, dude, you got to see it. You got to see it," because he's all about that, you know. He's all about that, man. He is all about
awesome.
that. I love it. I love it. So I hooked him up with the Netflix there, and he just went crazy watching shows. And I mentioned, "Yeah, I gotta watch Mad Men." 2 weeks later, I come back. I'm like, "Hey, man, you see Mad Men?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, I watched all of it. That was a great show." And he's like, "Yeah, we're watching Orange is the New Black now." I was like,
hey,
damn.
If you like Orange is the New Black, you got to watch the British version of it called Wentworth. That's some pretty awesome shit, man.
I heard about that. I heard
Wentworth. Yep.
I heard it was basically like the Orange is the New Black there.
But it's a British series.
It's a British series, ain't it?
Yep.
I heard, what was it I was watching on Netflix? I've been slowly getting through The Office. I'm on season 2.
Which one? The British version or the American version?
No, the American version. I'm already on.
Oh, the American. Both versions are good. I like them both. Yeah.
Yeah. I like. So far, I'm already in the second season of the Office. So every once in a while, I'll throw on an episode and watch a couple episodes, and then I'll quit. I know there's like 9 seasons, and I know some funny stuff happens along the way. Yeah. I was watching a video on YouTube, like a best of, where Jim messes with Dwight. Where he puts all his office stuff in Jell-O, and he wraps his desk up with like Christmas paper. And he's like, "How long you take to do that?" 5 minutes. He's like, "Oh, you're some professional rapper." He's like, yeah, in his desk, and then he knocks himself out with the phone, with the nickels in the phone. I love that. He's like,
"Well, I'm glad you watched Office, because if you said you watched Gilmore Girls, I would never look at you the same."
I was watching back in the day before the CW became the CW. It was WB.
It was UPN, yeah.
Yeah, it was WB. Or yeah, UPN and WB came together to form the CW. Well, Gilmore Girls was on WB. I remember I was at my friend's house, and the first night they were watching something.
It.
No. I didn't watch it. Well, I watched the first 5 minutes, and this is what happened. Dude, this is what happened. Okay, I watched the first 5 minutes. Okay, and we just got done watching something that was on prior, and that came on. And after we watched the first 5 minutes, I looked over at my friend. I looked over at his girlfriend at the time, and I looked, and we both looked at her. She said, "What the hell was that?" Click. Turned it off. She turned that shit off, and she never watched it.
Like I said, it's not like Dawson's Creek.
But yeah, that's what she was watching. She liked Dawson's Creek, but she couldn't watch that. But a few weeks later, she was watching it, and I walked in, and me and my friend were wanting to play PlayStation. We went to play Castlevania. On the,
God, I love that. And I just got done watching the 3rd season of Castlevania on Netflix, the anime series.
Mm-hmm.
That series kicks ass, but I did like the Castlevania games too.
Yeah, I grew up watching, playing the Castlevania games. I did watch season 1 of that. I haven't watched season 2 or 3.
Dude, it's fucking good, man.
Is it? How good? How good?
I love it. It's good. It's a fun anime series, man. I love Castlevania.
Nice. The chat, man, dude, chat is going off tonight, man, with us.
Because I'm on here. That's why.
George says
kidding, it's both of us.
Okay, we already talked about that. Okay. He put up again, he says, I've been hunkered down with my son. We've cleared Marvel's Iron Fist and the Defenders. Nice. 2 really good shows on there. Actually, you want to know something? You pull my man card on this one. Dude, I'm sorry. I watched the first 2 seasons of Jessica Jones. I
like Jessica Jones, yeah.
I watched the first
Punisher.
I still have not got through the first season.
What?
Of that.
I'm taking your man card away from you. The Punisher series was good.
I've not got through the first season yet, man, because it drags. It's dragging, man. I'm waiting.
Dude, it gets better, dude. Frank Castle's a bad motherfucker.
I know he is.
You got like John Berthenol, Shane from The Walking Dead.
Come on. He's a great actor. He's a great actor. But now I gotten up to the part where the guy's in his backyard digging a hole, and Frank's trying to figure out what the hell to do, and he goes in and he beats up a bunch of people, and then it gets dull for there, and I'm like, come on, I want to see something. Come on, I want to see something. I want to see you blow shit up. You're the Punisher. Come in there and be like, I'm Frank Castle. I'm waiting for that, man.
They're good. I also like the DC shows, man. The DC shows were good, like Arrow. You know how Stephen Amell finished the final season of Arrow? No.
I'm not
talking about Arrow. Let me finish. Hey, let me finish my sentence. You know how he did the final season, and you know how he's a pro wrestling fan.
Yeah.
He wrestled in WWE, and then he wrestled over at AEW.
Yeah.
Well, he's coming out with a new TV series coming out on Stars where he plays a professional wrestler.
Oh, yeah. I heard something about that. I heard that he's because Arrow ended. He finally ended Arrow, and I don't know how that ends because that's another show me and my wife's trying to catch up on because she loves Arrow.
Nothing, but yeah. But he's going to be portraying a pro wrestler in a TV series on Stars.
Nice. Let me ask you, am I going to be satisfied or disappointed how Arrow ends?
You're going to be disappointed.
Nah, he dies. Everyone dies. Okay, we'll leave it as that.
No, you just have to wait and find out, little man.
But talking about the DC shows George mentioned there, or the Marvel shows, excuse me, I watched the first 2 seasons of Jessica Jones. I watched Iron Fist season 1. I watched the first 2 seasons Daredevil. Okay, I watched The Defenders. I loved The Defenders.
Defenders was awesome.
Then I went back and watched the second season of Luke Cage, which I loved. I loved that, and
Sweet Christmas.
I've just started watching the first 3 episodes of Iron Fist season 2.
Yeah, Iron Fist 2 was good. I wish they did another season. I enjoyed second season than the first season. Second season was more better.
Right.
And then speaking of superhero shows, on Amazon, I love The Boys, and I can't wait for The Boys season 2. The Boys is awesome.
Let me ask you, Marvel on Disney Plus, The Runaways, and that other show. Have you watched shows that's on there?
I watched The Runaways. The Runaways is a fun show. It's all right. I didn't really get into The Runaways, but it's all right. Mm-hmm. And then I tried to get into Marvel's Cloak and Dagger. I couldn't get into that, and I was a fan of the comic series back in the day. Yeah, the comic was great. Cloak and Dagger, the comic was great, but it's just a lot of people. When I heard about the show, I was like, "This is going to be great," but a lot of people, I felt like it was boring.
Was it? How boring was it?
I couldn't get into it. They tried to do it, but I rather read the comic series all over again because, I own the comic series. I wouldn't even recommend it. And then speaking of Marvel, I want to see the New Mutants, man.
Yeah. David, pull this up here. Yeah, New Mutants. I want to see that because that looks awesome. They had to push that back, like with a lot of other movies there.
Yeah, like Wonder Woman 84. They pushed that back. I'm dying to see Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, they pushed a lot of movies back. I'm still trying to figure out who Dominic Toretto is fighting in Fast and Furious 9 because I just can't see them.
You want me to tell you who's fighting? You should know that. You can't see me. Hey, Dominic, Paul Walker. I mean, rest in peace, Paul Walker. But
yes,
you can't see me.
Let me check out the chat right here. David Wallachek says, "You guys are going to be mad that I've never seen a Marvel movie." No, we're not mad at you, man. Because
no, we're not mad. I'm a huge DC guy, but I'll go see the Marvel films. And I know the DC films haven't did well, but the TV shows and animated movies have. But I like to watch Marvel too. But I'm more of a DC guy.
Yeah,
I've been a DC guy since I was 8 years old. But okay.
George says, "Uh-oh, Dave," and Dave Wallachek says, "Everett Lee Show, you're live on redlineradio.com." Thank you for that, man. I appreciate it, man. We're live
and
on...
his guest, Robyn Nelson from Wrestle Popcast.
Exactly. Plug it, man.
Hey, thank you, Redline Radio. You guys are the shit.
Yes, they are. They're up in your neck of the woods there, man. They are.
I'm in Cincinnati and they're in Cleveland.
Yeah, they're in Cleveland. I spent 3 months up in Cleveland when my stepdad had kidney cancer, and my mom was up there I'm trying to think here. I think it was about 3 months into about midsummer, because I remember taking my mom to go see The Mummy Returns up there in Ohio. I worked at the Travel Lodge Hotel. I worked like the midnight till like 6 a.m. shift.
That's a scary hotel. I bet you probably saw all walks of Earth going into the Travel Lodge.
Oh, you want to see something? You want to hear something scary, dude? This will blow your fucking mind right now. You want to share a story? What happened?
Tell me what happened at the Travel Lodge.
Okay, I was working the shift, and I didn't really pay too much attention about when people would come in and check in for rooms, because I was working the front desk. I'd basically find a room that I had on a list, and like, all right, we'll put you here, we'll put you there, money, thank you, whatever. Okay, this couple came in, and from what I can remember, they came in, they checked in, took their money and everything, they went to their room. Well, the next morning, right before I left, I was sitting there with the head person at the Travel Lodge. This is up in around Brookdale, Ohio. Okay, you know where Brookdale is, right?
Yeah, I've heard of Brookdale. I've never been there, but I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, I was staying out there with my mom and my stepdad because I was helping him out because my stepdad's kidney cancer came back because he already had one kidney removed. So this was around 2001, summer 2001, before 9/11. So I went back up there. It was March till June. That's when I stayed up there. Again, I went back to Ohio. So I was up there, and I was working at Travel Lodge. And that morning, I was with the manager of the front desk. We're going over some stuff that happened, some new updates or whatever was going on. All of a sudden, we heard it sounded like bloody damn murder. Like the head of house cleaning comes running into the lobby. She's like, and she didn't speak English. She was like, la, 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 just on and on and on. She was Asian. We're like, what the hell is going on? And she kept pointing. So she grabbed her, and grabbed me, and I'm like, okay. We went out, and it was down about it was about the last room on the second floor. It was 2-something. So while we're getting dragged upstairs, the front desk manager looks at me and says, "Do you know anything about this?" I said, "Probably not right now. I'm in shock just like you." So we get up there. She opens up the door, and she's like, I shit you not, Robyn. The whole room was filled with fucking dildos.
Shut the fuck up. There was a dildo party going on?
It was filled.
Oh my God.
It was filled with dildos.
Oh.
And even you go in the bathroom, I kid you not, they were sticking on the wall. All sorts of colors. It looked like
what kind of party was that?
It looked like Rainbow Bright came in there and she basically fucked herself. And she she squatted rainbow colors all over the place.
I'll tell you something. Whoever did that probably couldn't sit the next 2 days.
I don't know, man. I don't know. They crawled out of there, but if they did, they couldn't sit for the next 2 days. But they probably had a smile on their face.
Oh God!
I kid you not. I kid you not. That's what happened. That's what happened,
that is
man.
Freaky out, man.
I know. Ain't that shit freaky? That's some stuff, man. When you experience in the workplace, man, you definitely do. You experience some stuff like that. But it was that was crazy. That was one of those crazy times there, man. One of the things.
The dildo room.
Yes, the dildo room. I shit you not, man.
Like that name, Dildo Baggins.
Oh my god.
Anal.
That person probably had about a
33 and a third chance
of actually walking out of there alive.
That's so goofy, man.
I know. There was probably a prostitute, man. I checked in this young couple one night, and they were in there for about an hour, and they came out, and they paid for the room and left. They left. They basically came in, came out, and left and stuff. And it was like...
I'm coming!
They were probably part of that dildo room party, probably.
They probably were. Who knows, man?
Speaking of dildos, I'll tell you something funny. I went to Hustler Hollywood, to go get a gag gift for my friend's bachelor party, and I was going in there, and they had a dildo seminar with the couples, and they were talking about how couples like to use dildos on each other, and I was sitting there like in the corner just laughing, man. This girl was getting into it, telling me all kinds of ways you can use a dildo and how you and your loved one can share that intimate experience. I'm like, nope, that's not for me, but it was just funny hearing what she was talking about. A dildo. You know how pro wrestling have seminars?
Yeah.
Well, they got dildo seminars.
Are you shitting me, man?
No, this is legit the truth, man.
That's crazy, man. That is crazy. That's crazy. I'm looking at the chat here again. David Wallachek wants to know, what is your guys' top 12 WrestleMania matches of all time?
Ooh.
Damn.
That's really...
Damn. I'm going to have to, for me, I don't know about you, Robyn, I'm going to have to go with 3 or 5 on that one. What do you say?
Well, I'm going to name a few. I'm not going to name a lot of them. There's so many to go by. Well, one of them is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yes.
That's a good one. Another good one was where Rowdy Piper boxed Mr. T.
Oh, yeah, WrestleMania 2. WrestleMania 2 right there, yeah.
And then another one would, of course, everybody knows this one, was two of them. The other two would be Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior for the championship titles.
WrestleMania 6.
Yep. And then the one between Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, where he picked up Andre the Giant and slammed him.
WrestleMania 3.
Yep. I can name several, but those are some of my favorite matches.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's so many, but that's a good question. I mean, I can name more, but right now those are the of all the WrestleMania matches, the ones I just mentioned are my favorites of the different WrestleManias.
I would have to say Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Macho Man Randy Savage, WrestleMania 3 for the Intercontinental Championship. That match right there would have to be like my all-time favorite. Number 2 would have to be Hulk and Andre when he body slammed him. Yep. And number 3, I would have to say Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon in the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, miss. I meant
yeah, that match right there. And then also WrestleMania 13, Austin versus Bret Hart with Ken Shamrock as special guest referee.
Oh, that was good.
Dude, you had a double turn that night because Austin was the heel going into it. Hart was the face.
Yes.
By the end of this, Austin became the face and Hart became the heel because the crowd got behind Austin. That's when you had the bloodstone thing when he's like, and he's bleeding blood all down his face and shit, and he passed out. He did not tap out. That had to be one of my favorite matches right there because how the finish of that match right there ended.
Dude, I mean, that's a good question. I mean, I can name several other WrestleManias as well, but but that whole thing about what you were talking about, the Ricky Steamboat, Randy Macho Man Savage. Remember when they were wrestling for the Intercontinental, where Randy Savage grabbed that ring bell and like popped Ricky Steamboat in the throat with the ring bell?
Yeah.
That scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. I was like, no, you can't stick the ring bell on Ricky Dragon Steamboat's throat.
Yeah. Yeah, you could not do that because when I was on a couple weeks ago when I was on Redline Radio, I mentioned that right there. I said what I love about that match and the build up, which you don't see really much nowadays in pro wrestling.
Not today, no.
No, not today. Not today because Savage took that belt and he injured Steamboat's neck. I remember my brother, he was cussing. He was like, Macho Man, why? And he's like, damn, Steamboat. A month or 2 months later, correct me if I'm wrong, Steamboat comes back and he starts whipping Savage's ass out of nowhere. And it was like, it's like Steamboat's back. And then he challenges him at a match at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. And they have their match, and god dang, the freaking match right there was just.
It's awesome. And then speaking of Steamboat, not referring to WWE, one of my other favorite matches was the feud between Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and the Nature Boy Ric Flair. How they would have those hour-long matches. Oh, those were phenomenal, and they told a great story as well, their feud, man.
Yeah.
Steamboat and the Nature Boy, man, those are some great matches.
Yes, the best of 3 right there with Steamboat and Nature Boy. David Wallachek says, Robyn, he had that Macho and Steamboat as the number 1. I love it. And he said, how about the triple threat 3-way tag team ladder match with the Dudleys versus Hardys versus Edge and Christian?
Oh, that was priceless.
God, yeah.
That was the most entertaining match I've seen, like in WWE. I mean, there's a lot, but I would have to say I would have to put that in the top of all WWE matches. That was just phenomenal, man.
It was.
I love that match.
It was. It definitely was. That was great. That was great. History making moments, like I mentioned. I said the ladder match with Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon. Robyn, how about the first Money in the Bank ladder match, which was at WrestleMania 2?
That was pretty interesting. You never seen anything like that before.
No.
And I was at that match. That was just great. It was different. It was original. And I didn't even, when I was watching that match, you couldn't tell where it was going to end and how it was going to end. It was just really, it was just a fun match. And that whole, I love that whole Money in the Bank idea match. It was just original.
It was something by Chris Jericho there. Now,
gotta love Jericho, man. Jericho was the shit, man.
He is. He's evolved with the times. He's definitely evolved with the times.
I miss him when he was the Lionheart, Chris Jericho.
Yeah, WCW, man. Yeah, definitely WCW. Now, one thing I have to say is that if you'd had to pick a WrestleMania as your favorite WrestleMania, which one would that be?
WrestleMania 3.
WrestleMania 3? WrestleMania 3 would be my number 1 WrestleMania. I'll tell you what my number 2 would be.
What's that?
WrestleMania 30.
30 was good.
Mm-hmm.
I would put that in their top 5. I really enjoyed WrestleMania 30. 30 was good.
30 was good because for the fact that you had that story with Daniel Bryan. In modern wrestling with WWE, Daniel Bryan trying to be the top guy, and he was pushed down to be a B+ player. He opened up WrestleMania with Triple H, and Triple H's pop, god dang, man. He got in that ring there, and it was Daniel Bryan versus Triple H. Daniel Bryan started WrestleMania, and he ended WrestleMania by holding the world and the WWE heavyweight titles above his head.
Speaking of that was good. Speaking of another great WrestleMania moment, what about the match between AJ Styles and Shane McMahon? That one was awesome.
WrestleMania 33. Yeah, that was in my own backyard. I could not go to that, Robyn. You know why? Because
I'm taking your man card away from you from that.
Really? Because my daughter was just born 2 months prior to that? Is that why you're taking my man card away?
Yep.
Hey, your wife gives birth to your child, and you say, I'm going to WrestleMania, and she's like, if you go, I'm going to fucking kill you. What do you do?
I was just messing with you. But that match with him and AJ Styles,
Yes.
I've been a big AJ Styles fan when he was like wrestling in the Indies before he went to, TNA and Impact and all that. He's came a long way. So my top 3 favorite wrestlers of the world today would be AJ Styles, Okada, and Kenny Omega. That's my top 3 of the world.
Damn. You put me in a compromised situation. Because I was asked about my Mount Rushmore, and it depends on best on the mic, technical, or face, heel. I screw this up. This is so damn hard for me, man. It's so hard.
Best on the mic is good. I would say my favorite best on the mic would be Roddy Piper.
Mm-hmm.
Would be number 1. And then I would say number 2. I mean, there's so many, but I'm going to go with Nick Bockwinkel. He was smooth back in the day, man, wearing the suits, and he was great. And then number 3 for me, everybody says The Rock. I mean, he was good on the mic, but I'm gonna have to say Jericho, man. Jericho has got it going on that mic, man.
Yeah, he does. He does. Jericho. I mentioned this before. Jericho's evolved with the times with wrestling.
Yes, he has.
That's why he keeps reinventing himself. That's why he's relevant. He's relevant in the business right now, because if he's not
he's just good.
Yeah, he's just good. If he's not relevant, then he's not good. But the guy stayed relevant, so he's good.
He is, and and I love Roddy Piper on the mic, because you didn't know what he was going to say, and it wasn't scripted how it is today, what they have to say. It just came out of his mouth, man. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, you definitely did. Let me check the chat here. Let's see. David Wallachek says 5. AJ Shane was in my top 12 greatest. I like that. And he says that best on the mic, Rock. I agree with
The
him
Rock
there.
is good. I totally agree with him. He's good, but yeah, I didn't name him, but he's pretty awesome on the mic too, and he's made a big name for himself. Going from professional wrestling, to the movies, man. That guy's making bank everywhere he goes.
He has. What I think is with The Rock, I think it's having the right manager, having the right roles in the scripts brought to him. That's why. That's why. Look at example Dave Bautista. I believe
He's getting some big roles.
Yeah,
He was in the James Bond movie Spectre.
Mm-hmm.
He did Guardians of the Galaxy. He's getting up there too. And then of course John Cena is getting some movie roles too, but not as the big movie roles as Batista and The Rock.
Yeah, but he is. And do you remember back when Cena was like bad mouthing The Rock, saying, "You said you're going to be here and you left and stuff"? And Cena actually retracted a statement he said about The Rock running to Hollywood. He says, "I understand why he did it now." And it's like, there you go, because he was being a hypocrite about it. Cena was being a hypocrite about it, man.
I remember Cena's first debut match where he went up against Kurt Angle. That was priceless.
Oh God, yeah. Man, I saw Cena before he became Cena.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You know where he started off too? He started off over at Ohio Valley Wrestling over in Louisville, Kentucky, because at the time they were part with WWE. And a lot of big names came from there. Batista, CM Punk, The Miz, all of them. Yeah. I remember John Cena wrestling for OVW.
Yeah.
But he was Cena, but you saw him before he was John Cena, huh?
Yeah. Let me mention this here, and I'll tell you my little story about that. David Wallachek says AJ and Edge are his favorites of all time. And he said that Dusty Rhodes was great on the mic, too.
Oh, he sure was, man.
Yeah, he was.
Let me tell you something about High Times.
High Times. That promo right there is the greatest promo about High Times. You were talking about High Times. I tell you about High Times. I'll tell you about High Times right now, right here in this country. High Times is when you go down to the local bar with your buddy to have a drink and have a meal that they're closed because of the coronavirus coming in. Hard Times is when you want to go to your local wrestling event there and you want to support that and it's shut down because of the coronavirus. Hard Times is when you go to the grocery store and you can't find some TP to wipe your ass with and you can't find paper towels to wipe yourself with and you can't find baby wipes to wipe your baby with so they don't get rash. That's Hard Times. Hard Times.
And also Hard Times, you go to the grocery store, you can't find pasta and can of soup. That's Hard Times. And even Top Ramen.
Yes, I agree with you there right there. Hard Times is you can't find that canned food that you need to feed your family at night because some motherfucker decided to hoard it all and you want to drop kick him and give him the bionic elbow and take a can. Hard Times is when that elderly couple is trying to shop and everything gets taken from them from some hoarder and you want to kick that SOB's butt and give them back what they need so they can get on through the night. That's Hard Times there. And Hard Times is that when the news media, NBC, Fox, ABC, CBS, ABC, XYZ, ABC, NBW, whatever alphabetical order reports, it keeps you in fear about the cases and deaths, but they don't talk about recovery. That's Hard Times right there.
All right. Shoot. Dusty Rhodes is rolling in his grave right now.
Oh, Dusty Rhodes is loving it, baby. He's loving it. Let's give it a round of applause right there.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, the American Dream. Dusty Rhodes.
American Dream there. Here you go, buddy.
And then remember when you used to have Sapphire? Come on, Sapphire.
Sapphire. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Sapphire. That's right. Jake Roberts was and still is great on the mic. That's what David Wallachek says.
I do agree with him. Jake Roberts did an awesome promo over at AEW.
Yes.
Man, I was just like at man, when he was at AEW with that awesome promo, man. Right there, man. He went up to Cody Rhodes and took him to school.
I love how Jake delivers that promo right there.
Yep.
And he just don't get too loud. And he looks right in the camera. And he delivers the promo without saying or getting too loud.
That's classic Jake Roberts.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's just basic. It's basic. It's basic Jake Roberts. Let me tell you about John Cena. Let me tell you about that. Yeah, I got to tell you about this. Okay. Back, it was around 2002. I lived in Knoxville, Tennessee. I went to a house show.
Hotbed of wrestling. Hotbed of wrestling in Knoxville.
Yes. Smoky Mountain Wrestling by Jim Cornette. Right there on my back wall. One of them. Let's see. Jim, where are you at? There you are. Jim Cornette. I met the guy. So anyway, Jim Cornette. So we went to a house show. This is back when they first did the what do you call it? The brand split.
Dark matches.
When you had Raw and SmackDown house shows.
Yeah, I miss the house shows and dark matches. They still do them today, but yeah, okay.
Yeah. So this was a Raw house show. So this was back when Brock Lesnar, he wrestled against Jeff Hardy. He squashed his ass. The main event of this card was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Ric Flair in a steel cage match.
Okay.
With the Enforcer Double A interfering and Ric Flair leaving bloody. But before the match happened, okay, well, let's see. The first match had Stevie Richards. I forgot who he wrestled. But then you had Bradshaw wrestle the Big Show, Booker T. That was when the NWO thing was going on, and he was in and out and everything. But X-Pac was there. So they had this one match where they had this one guy in these yellow tights and this buzz cut haircut. He's in there. He's working his butt off, Robyn. I'm telling you, this guy's working his butt off. And the crowd's like, boo, boo, he sucks. He turns around and he's like, shut up, just going crazy. My younger brother, he's sitting there like, hey, this guy sucks. I smacked him. I said, dude, guy's putting on a hell of a match. And the other guy's trying to put on a hell of a match. I said, for all you know, this guy could become one of the biggest superstars in WWE, and you don't even know it yet. 2 years later, that guy became John Cena, and he became one of the biggest superstars in WWE.
That's awesome. Hey, I'll speaking of stories, I'll tell you a funny Jim Cornette story. I was with David Stockwell, and we went to Heroes and Legends show up in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where they get all the classic wrestlers up there.
Yeah.
And I had Wrestle Popcast up there. I was doing, you know how I go do my live promo interviews. So me and David did one with Jim Cornette, which is good.
Yeah.
If you find it, it's Demo Blast Studios Wrestle Popcast Jim Cornette interview on YouTube. So when we were interviewing him, he looked at me and goes, "Where'd you get your clothes from? A soup kitchen?" It was so great.
I love it.
It was great being ribbed on by Cornette. It was great. But he gave us a good interview. But I'm blessed to have been ribbed by Jim Cornette.
Yeah, I love the guy. I love the guy, what he does and everything. I don't take him seriously. You see, a lot of these people don't know how to take him. I met some people at an NXT show, and they're like, yeah, screw Jim Cornette. He don't like Kenny Omega. And I said, do you really believe and take Jim Cornette seriously? Yeah. He's just, I said, I like Cornette. Oh, what? You like Cornette? I'm like, yeah, dude. I said, guy's been around forever. Don't take him
Midnight
seriously.
Express.
He's a character. That's what he is. He pisses people off. You know? Come on.
He's a great heel. Great heel.
Yeah, that's what he does. People take him seriously. They whine about it. They're like, Cornette hurt my feelings.
Jim Cornette. He's an evil son of a bitch, Jim Cornette. I hate Jim Cornette. I don't like him because he managed the Midnight Express, too.
Yeah,
Son of a bitch.
That's basically what they basically think.
But there's one problem. Everybody still thinks that I absolutely suck.
Are you tongue-tied there, Mr. Sir?
What?
Hi, I'm tongue-tied. I was trying to figure out what I was going to say about Jim Cornette, and I'm just sitting there trying to say a question, see what Robyn would say.
I would say,
Fickle, fickle.
You're tongue-tied, aren't you?
you don't hear my soundboard going off?
No, what's your soundboard? I can't hear it.
Oh, damn, you're going to have to watch a replay of this. I've been playing this here. I was like tongue-tied. What do you mean?
I can't hear it. I can't hear it, but okay. I'll have to definitely play it.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch a replay. Go back and watch the replay of this, man. Damn, my soundboard. Why is it not working? Damn, son of a bitch. I know everyone that's viewing right now could probably hear it. Damn, that sucks. It sucks, man. It sucks, but shit. Damn, Robyn.
No, you gotta do it. You gotta do it like Ron Simmons. Damn.
All right, here we go. Let me look in the camera. Damn.
There you go.
Was that good? Was that good? Or Robyn, I can talk like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Right now here on the Everett Lee Show, I have none other than Robyn Nelson of Wrestle Popcast. What? And future great wrestlings beyond the bell. Robyn, how the hell you doing there, son? How you doing there tonight? You have a cold one? You enjoying Stone Cold Steve Austin's company? What?
Hey, you want to know who does a great impersonation of Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Who's
Check
that?
out Stone Cold E.T.
Oh shit! Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of that, man.
Stone Cold E.T. Check him out. I met him, and I interviewed him, and he did a good one for my podcast. And he goes, and he was looking over at Marcus Bagwell. He's like, "See Bagwell over there, and me, Bagwell, me."
What? Stone Cold wants to know if you enjoying this podcast tonight, because Stone Cold is just having a hell of a time right now. we got some stuff going on in the chat, Robyn. We gotta check this out right now.
All right,
George says that he loves the drops. It's working for them because they can hear it, unlike you. What? But he says, damn, perfect. That sounded great. Give me a hell yeah. And he said, that AJ Styles doing Austin. What? It's just great. I love it. I love doing that. But I can always do take the sunglasses off here. Here, let's just do this like this. We have The Rock, Triple H. You look like Tarzan, but you wrestle like Jane. You smell what The Rock is cooking. Right now, The Rock is right here with Robyn Nelson of Wrestle Popcast. I'll tell you what, if any jabroni out there that don't know who Robyn Nelson is, you better go to the SmackDown Hotel. You better check in to room 316. You better take that key and shine it right up and stick it straight up your monkey ass, because The Rock says you better smell what he's cooking.
Speaking of Stone Cold Steve Austin, have you tried his beer?
What?
What? Have you tried his beer? What? Skull Ranch beer? What? IPA? What?
How'd you get a hold of that, man? Tell me how you got a hold of that. I fell on my chair right here when I saw that you had that. How'd you get a hold of it?
I know people in certain areas of the world, brother.
Yes.
Now, if you look online, you can be able to get it. I mean, they have them here in Ohio too. Certain areas in Ohio, you just gotta look.
Yeah, I tried to look at one point. I did try to look at where I could order that IPA beer at, but dude, you have to know where to look at to find that, because it's popular. It's popular. His beer is really popular right now.
Yes, it is, and it's great, man.
How's it taste?
It's good. I'm a beer guy. It tastes good. I'm gonna see Stone Cold ET get some and do a promo and talking like that in Discord.
I do it pretty good, don't I?
Hey, I'll take a good impersonation. You can do pretty good. Do one of David C. Russell.
I don't even know where to start, man. I think he fell off the chat, man, because he was on fire there at the beginning, man. He comes in strong, and I think he freaking fell off here. AJ Styles doing Austin, like I said. Dave Wallachek says Jay Lethal doing the Macho Man and Ric Flair.
Yes, the Macho Man. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good guy.
Woo!
That's right. That's right. He does it great. I can't believe you're not hearing my sound. I mean, everyone is. You're gonna have to watch back on this, and you're gonna have to laugh.
I will. I usually, when you play your board, I usually hear everything, but for some reason, I couldn't hear that. Okay.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what it is. I have to update it because it's kind of outdated. I did the latest Windows 10 update on my PC right here, and I had to go back and refix things. And when
I'll just watch the replay.
Yeah. You definitely gotta have to watch a replay of it. Okay, there you are. I thought I lost you there for a minute.
Oh yeah, I lost a little connection, but hey, thank you so much for having me on. I got to go.
Yeah, me too, man. Because I've already drank 2 of these, and I'm about to go run. So before I do close out, I'll let you do your plugs. I'll do my plugs, and we'll close this podcast out, though. But as always, thank you for coming on tonight. And
it's always a pleasure.
I always have a great time talking with you. And
we need to do this again.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. You're gonna be. Are you gonna be on the Chris Carnage show here soon?
I'm waiting for him to invite me on. If you're listening, Chris.
He said he was, man. I'll have to get on his ass, though. But
yeah, you tell Chris Carnage to get his thumb up his ass and invite me on the show.
Okay.
Because I put the FU in fun.
I love it. I love it. But before I do close out with the show, again, I want to thank you for coming on. As always, it's long overdue having you coming back on here on the Everett Lee Show. And do you want let everyone know what you have coming up on the horizon with Wrestle Popcast, Future Great Wrestling, and where they can find you on social media at?
Yes. Well, tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern on Wrestle Popcast, I'm going to have Major League Wrestling star Logan Creed on my show. It's going to be fun. And I got some other guests coming up I'm working on to come on my show, so stay tuned. You can follow Wrestle Popcast on Facebook. You can follow Wrestle Popcast on Twitter at Rob Kicks. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Wrestle Popcast. And for Wrestle Popcast, you can subscribe to my shows at Spreaker.com, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, Podcast Addict, CastBox, Podcast City Network at podcastcity.net. And if you want to see my show, Future Great Wrestling Beyond the Bell, subscribe to the Future Great Wrestling YouTube channel every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. We've got new episodes that are previously recorded because of the coronavirus. You can see some of my Beyond the Bell latest episodes on there and some great exclusive content. And also follow Future Great Wrestling on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Wrestle Popcast as well. And that's about it of all my plugging.
Nice.
I said that wrong. I don't plug, but you know.
You don't plug, huh?
That's right. I had a ball. Thank
Yes.
you so much, man. This was fun.
As always. And before Everett Lee does close out, he just wants to mention that you can check out more episodes of the Everett Lee Show, and Wrestle Popcast on podcastcity.net over on Podcast City Network, your top source for independent podcasting over on podcastcity.net. You can follow Podcast City Network or on Facebook. Give them a thumbs up. And over on Twitter at Podcast City Net. And follow their YouTube channel, Podcast City Network, for video portions of this podcast and other podcasts. And on Twitch, right here on twitch.tv/Podcast City Network. Hit that follow button. And I want to thank everyone that's followed Twitch, Podcast City Network on Twitch right here on my feed. I see right there. I want to thank you all for that. Everett Lee Show. You can follow more Everett Lee Show or on Facebook, Everett Lee Show, and over on Twitter at the Everett _Lee, Instagram, Everett Lee Show, and audio portions of this podcast and previous release podcasts. Head over to YouTube, Everett Lee Show, Stitcher Radio. Download that app for your smartphone and tablet. iTunes, Everett Lee Show, and Podbeam, everettleeshow.podbeam.com. And be sure to download that app for episodes of the Everett Lee Show and other podcast content on Podbeam. And right now, if you head over to podbeam.com/PB sign up, you get a free month off if you start a podcast with Podbeam. And that will help Everett Lee out graciously because he gets paid if you do that. And that pretty much is it for the Everett Lee Show. I am signing off. Thank you, and check out this week, later on this week, with host of the Chris Carnage Show. Chris Carnage is going to jump over to this show. So tune in for that, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to thank you everyone for tuning in tonight to the Everett Lee Show. And we'll see you again next week for an episode of the Everett Lee Show podcast.
Yeah. Thank you so much, man. I'm glad we're getting off because I'm getting ready to die. So I'm gonna get
Me too. We out of here. See ya.
I'll talk to you.